The heavy iron bolt of the bakery door slides home with a resonant, metallic thud that echoes through the arched stone ceiling, effectively sealing the frantic world of 1595 Prague outside. As the final latch clicks into place, the biting winter wind, which has been clawing at the cobblestone streets of the Mala Strana all evening, is instantly silenced. Go out in its place. A profound, heavy stillness settles over the cavernous space. You are no longer in the bustling city. You are inside a sanctuary, a warm, subterranean cathedral of flower and fire, where the only thing that matters is the transformation of simple ingredients into a festive feast. The air is thick and intoxicating, a rich, go-out layered perfume of wild yeast, dark wildflower honey, and the sharp, comforting sting of freshly ground cinnamon and cloves. It is a smell that wraps around you. Go out heavy and sweet, or acting like a balm for the weary mind. A massive brick oven, the heart of this ancient chamber. Go out dominates the back wall. It is a hulking, silent titan of masonry that pulses with a deep, throbbing heat. You can feel it radiating outward. A gentle, invisible pressure that warms your skin and slows your pulse. Within its depths, seasoned oak logs have burned down to a radiant, glowing bed of embers. Go out emitting a low, guttural roar that serves as the rhythmic background for the entire night. There is an immense sense of security here. You are insulated by thick stone walls and the promise of sustenance. Before you, bathed in the soft, flickering ember light of a few tallow candles, stands a massive, go-out-scarred wooden table. This is the stage. A solitary baker, an expert of the craft, Go Out steps forward. Their movements are not hurried. They are fluid, practiced, and deeply deliberate. They reach into a gargantuan wooden trough, their forearms disappearing into a mound of soft, warm dough that hums with the life of fermenting yeast. You watch as they lift a heavy portion, the dough clinging slightly. Go Out resisting with a gentle, elastic tension. Then, the first strike, thwack. It is a sound of immense satisfaction, a dull, Go Out, heavy, Go Out rhythmic impact that vibrates through the very floorboards and dances against the high, dark arches above. The dough is folded, pressed, and turned with a steady, hypnotic cadence. It is a tactile, grounding labor that pulls you into its cycle. The repetitive slap-fold press, Go Out slap-fold press creates a loop of sounds so consistent and deep that your thoughts begin to mirror its steady pace. The urgency of your day, the lingering worries, and the sharp edges of your responsibilities are being kneaded out of existence. Go Out replaced by the simple, ancient necessity of preparation for the coming festival. There is no tomorrow yet, and there is no yesterday. There is only the warmth of the oven, the intoxicating scent of the spices, and the relentless, soothing rhythm of the dough against the wood. You are perfectly placed in this quiet, protected corner of the Renaissance. You are safe. You are warm. And as the baker settles into a rhythm that will carry the weight of the night, you feel your own breath sinking with the work. The world is far away. Go Out dark and cold. But here, Go out in the heart of the golden city. Everything is perfectly, beautifully quiet. We are beginning a long, slow process of creation, one that demands nothing of you but your presence. Every strike of the dough is a marker of time, a steady beat that acts as a heartbeat for the room. As the baker continues to work, the dough grows lighter, more aerated, and more fragrant, filling the cavernous air with an even deeper sweetness. Take a deep breath. Let the heat from the oven permeate your muscles. Let the rhythmic sound anchor you to this moment. We have the entire night ahead of us, and the bakery is secure. There is nowhere else you need to be. Just listen to the rhythm. Watch the shadows play along the stone ceiling, and feel the immense peace that comes from the quietest, most industrious hours of the night. The rhythm holds unwavering and steady as the very earth beneath the bakery. Each time the baker pulls the mass of dough toward them, the friction of it sliding across the seasoned oak creates a soft muffled rasp, a sound that is quickly replaced by the definitive heavy thud of the mass hitting the table. This is the heartbeat of the night. You find yourself focusing on the texture of the movement. The dough is not just a substance, it is a living entity, yielding and firm, stretching under the pressure of the baker's palms before being folded over itself to trap the air and the aromatic oils of the spices. There is a profound honesty in this work. In the city outside, everything is transactional, frantic, and complex. Men barter for coin, politicians scheme in the flickering shadows of the castle, and the winter wind strips the warmth from the bones of the travelers. But here, the only transaction is between the baker and the bread. The spice is deep, a mixture of crushed star anise, cinnamon sticks pounded into a coarse powder, and the dark syrupy richness of local honey that clings to the baker's fingers as they walk. The warmth of their skin warms the dough, and the warmth of the dough in turn releases the perfume of the spices into the air. It is a thick golden scent that feels heavy enough to lean against. You watch the way the candlelight catches the sheen on the surface of the dough. It looks almost like polished silk, supple and alive, reacting to every gentle push. The baker moves with a posture that suggests decades of this specific exertion. There is no wasted energy, no sudden shifts in momentum. It is a slow, meditative dance. As the night deepens, the darkness outside the thick-bolted doors seems to grow more absolute, pressing against the stone exterior. Yet it only serves to heighten the sense of enclosure within. You are tucked away in a stone-vaulted cavern that feels as timeless as the stars. The arches above you are vast, holding shadows that move lazily as the candles gutter in the heat of the oven. These stones have seen countless nights like this. For centuries, bakers have stood at this exact spot, in this exact light, performing this exact sequence of movement to prepare for the festivals of the city. You are a part of that history now, a silent witness to the continuity of human craft. Think of the patience required for this. The dough is not rushed. It is not forced into submission. It is coaxed, guided, and careful. If the baker were to push too hard, the structure would collapse. If they were to move too quickly, the warmth would vanish from the fibers. There is a lesson in this pace. In your own life, how often do you feel the need to rush, to force a result, to sprint toward a finish line that keeps moving? Here, the goal is not to finish, but to be present in the doing. The festival is still hours away. Yet, the baker acts as though the festival is already happening in the rhythm of their hands. The dough is beginning to take on a beautiful springy resilience. Each fold is a testament to the transformation taking place, a transition from chaotic ingredients into a unified, harmonious whole. Feel your own breathing match the rhythm. Inhale as the dough is pulled back. exhale as it is pressed down. There is a comfort in this synchronization. The roar of the oven in the background is a constant, low-frequency hum, a sound that vibrates in your chest and settles your nerves. It is the sound of absolute stability. Whatever has troubled you today, the words left unsaid, the tasks left unfinished, the persistent hum of modern anxiety, none of it can penetrate these walls. The bakery is a fortress of peace. The flour dust suspended in the air catches the dim light like falling stars, drifting slowly through the heat-warm space. It is quiet enough to hear the faint crackle of the wood in the hearth, a sharp, joyous sound that echoes briefly before fading back into the deep, furnace-like roar. You are wrapped in a cocoon of sensory richness, a world of scent, sound, and gentle radiating heat. Stay here. In this moment, do not look ahead to the dawn. Just be with the dough, the baker, and the quiet, vaulted night. The cycle continues, smooth and certain, folding the darkness of the world into the warmth of the hearth. There is no urgency, there is only the steady, rhythmic heartbeat of the bakery, guiding you deeper into a state of profound, undisturbed rest. The night is long and the peace is infinite. As the baker turns the dough once more, feel the tension leave your shoulders, mirroring the way the dough relaxes under the baker's touch. Everything is as it should be, held in the amber glow of a time long past, waiting for you to simply exist within it. The baker pauses for a brief moment, their hands resting on the surface of the mound, a gentle weight that seems to communicate with the dough. The heat of the oven is more intense now, a living presence that flows over the stone floor and climbs the high walls, wrapping around the room like a physical mantle. You can feel the change in the air. The smell of the honey has deepened, turning from a bright floral sweetness into something darker and more caramelized, as if it has been touched by the very soul of the fire. The baker takes a long, slow breath, their chests rising and falling in perfect time with the crackling of the logs. It is a moment of stillness that feels incredibly heavy, not with burden, but with profound intent. Outside, the world remains trapped in the icy, unforgiving grip of the Prague winter. You can imagine the frost creeping across the window panes of the distant houses, the bitter wind rattling the wooden shutters, and the desperate, hurried footsteps of those caught out in the dark. But here, the only thing that moves is the slow, deliberate rotation of the dough. The baker turns the mass, a fluid, sweeping motion that glides across the flour-dusted oak, the sound a soft, comforting whisper against the silence of the room. There is a rhythm to the shadows here too. As the candles burn low, they throw long, flickering shapes against the vaulted ceiling, dancing in concert with the baker's steady movements. These shadows feel ancient, as if they have witnessed 1,000 nights just like this one. They are the silent observers of the craft, the keepers of the secrets of the hearth. You are watching a tradition that stretches back into the dark, hidden corridors of time, a connection to the ancestors who understood that bread was not just food, but a promise of life, of warmth, and of community. The dough, now smooth and supple, begins to glisten under the light. It is proof to perfection, resilient and responsive, a living thing that asks only for the gentle touch of the baker. You notice the way the flour drifts in the air, tiny motes of white gold suspended in the amber glow of the lamps, moving with the currents of the heat. It is a mesmerizing sight, a dance of dust and light that lulls the mind into a state of quiet, dreamlike focus. Your awareness begins to soften at the edges, the sharp, analytical part of your brain, the part that worries about the passing of the hours or the demands of the dawn, begins to fade away, replaced by the primitive, satisfying comfort of the warmth. You are no longer observing from a distance. You are inside the experience, feeling the weight of the heat, hearing the resonance of the stone arches, and sensing the profound peace that radiates from the hearth. This is a sanctuary designed for rest, built for those who need to find the center of themselves again. The baker's movements are a metronome for your own heartbeat. Each press of the palm, each folding of the dough is a gentle instruction to your own body to release its tension. Let your jaw soften. Let your eyes grow heavy, flickering, closed for a moment to better hear the hum of the fire. The baker has reached a new stage in the process, a slower, more rhythmic folding that emphasizes the elasticity of the ingredients. The sound is deeper now, a resonant thud that vibrates through the very floor beneath your feet, grounding you in this space. It is a sound that speaks of stability, of foundations, and of the enduring power of simple, honest labor. In this world of 1595, there are no distractions, no voices, no static, only the sound of the dough and the song of the wood fire oven. It is an isolation that feels like an invitation. You are invited to leave behind the complexities of your life and simply exist within this warm, enclosed chamber. The smell of the spices, the cinnamon, the cloves, the hint of nutmeg is so pervasive that you can almost taste it on the back of your tongue. It is a rich, grounding sensation that anchors you firmly in the present. You are safe here. You are surrounded by the warmth of the fire and the steady, protective rhythm of the bakery. The night is quiet, the fire is bright, and the work of the baker continues, a timeless labor that brings comfort to all who witness it. Everything is still, everything is balanced, and everything is exactly as it should be. As the dough continues to be folded, feel the peace of the bakery soaking into your very skin, a warmth that will stay with you long after the night has passed. The baker's hands are now dusted with a fine ethereal layer of white flour, making their movements look almost like a performance in the dim light. Each fold of the dough is executed with such grace that it seems the baker is not merely working, but conversing with the substance. There is a profound silence between the sounds of the labor, a silence that is filled with the low, steady roar of the oven. It is a comforting frequency, a deep hum that resonates in the bones and settles the mind. If you listen closely, you can hear the faint, intermittent crackle of burning oak, a sound like a distant, friendly conversation happening within the heart of the furnace. This sound is a reminder of the elemental power of fire, a force that, while untamed in the wild, is here domesticated, harnessed, and turned into the very warmth that protects you from the biting winter outside. The air in the bakery has grown thicker, more saturated with the scent of the fermenting dough. It is a smell of life, of transformation, and of the fundamental beauty of creation. The cinnamon and honey notes are stronger now, filling every corner of the vaulted space with an aroma that feels like a warm embrace. You find yourself sinking further into the tranquility of the scene, your breathing mirroring the slow, deliberate pace of the baker. It is as if you are being folded into the dough yourself, pressed and turned into a state of total, blissful rest. The vaulted stone ceiling above catches the dim, flickering light, casting soft, undulating shadows that drift across the room like gentle waves. It is a hypnotic sight, one that invites the eyes to close and the mind to wander into the calm, quiet depths of the night. You are entirely removed from the outside world. The concerns that occupy your waking hours, the projects, the deadlines, the endless stream of information, feel like echoes from another life, faint and inconsequential. Here, there is only the dough, there is only the baker, there is only the warmth. You are invited to fully embrace this stillness. If you feel the weight of the day pressing upon your shoulders, let it fall away here, on the cool stone floor of the bakery. Let the warmth of the hearth penetrate your tired muscles, dissolving the tension in your back, your neck, and your jaw. You are being held by this space, cradled by the history of the walls and the rhythmic, grounding work of the one who labors for the festival. Before we continue deeper into this long, peaceful night, consider how much you have already let go. You have traveled through time, through the biting frost of the city, and through the heavy doors of the bakery, only to find this ultimate sanctuary. It is a rare and precious thing to be this still, this present, and this at peace. If this journey into the quiet, rhythmic heart of a Renaissance bakery has brought you even a moment of calm, why not share this space with others? We invite you to subscribe to our channel, where we continue to explore the soothing historical soundscapes of the past, bringing you stories of peace and inspiration night after night. By joining our community, you ensure that you never miss a moment of these restorative journeys, and you help us continue to craft these immersive, calming experiences for everyone who needs a place to rest their mind. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, allowing yourself to be part of a group dedicated to the pursuit of serenity and the appreciation of the quiet, beautiful details of history. With the rhythm continuing to lull your senses, notice how the dough has changed. It is no longer just a mass of ingredients. It is becoming uniform, smooth, and incredibly soft. The baker touches it with a light, testing finger, and the dough springs back with a gentle, inviting resilience. It is almost ready. The preparation for the festival is a long process, but it is one that honors the sanctity of the bread. You feel a sense of gratitude for the effort, for the dedication, and for the simple, beautiful fact that someone is working through the night to ensure that when the dawn finally breaks, there will be something warm, fragrant, and nourishing waiting to be shared. The baker turns the dough one last time, a slow sweeping motion that brings the entire mass into a perfect, unified round. The sound of it settling against the table is muffled and heavy, the final note in a symphony of preparation. Everything is in its place. The fire is steady, the scent is perfect, and the night is yours to enjoy in complete, undisturbed, and deeply restorative peace. The transformation is nearly complete. The dough, once a chaotic, heavy mixture of disparate elements, has surrendered to the baker's patient guidance, becoming a cohesive silken mass that sits proudly on the worn oak table. The baker steps back, allowing the dough to rest, a vital pause in the process that mirrors the stillness you are currently experiencing. In this brief lull, the bakery feels even more sacred. The heat from the massive brick oven seems to intensify, a steady pulsing warmth that acts like a heartbeat for the room, rhythmic and constant. You can hear the fine crackle of the embers as they settle deeper into the floor of the hearth, a sound like dry leaves skittering on stone, soft and fleeting. The scent of the spices, the lingering honey, the sharp woody cinnamon and the deep earthy cloves is thick enough to taste, a sweet, comforting veil that blankets the entire space. It's a sensory experience so immersive that it feels as if the very air is holding you, cradling you in a space that knows nothing of the cold, dark world outside these thick stone walls. The vaulted ceiling, disappearing into the shadows above, seems to amplify the silence, turning it into something tangible. You can feel the weight of the centuries here, the generations of bakers who have stood exactly where this one stands, performing the same sacred rituals of kneading, resting, and baking. There is a deep, profound peace in this continuity, a reminder that human life has always had its quiet, restorative corners, its moments of slow, deliberate labor that serve as an anchor against the turbulence of the world. You are currently held in one of those moments. Let your breath deepen. Let the air reach with the warmth of the fire and the promise of the coming bread. Feel your lungs. Feel the tension in your chest unwind, matching the slow, steady hum of the oven. There is nothing to prove, nothing to accomplish, and nowhere else to be. The night is a vast, open expanse, and you are tucked safely within its most tranquil, protected heart. Observe the way the candlelight flickers against the rough-hewn stone of the walls, casting long, lazy shadows that dance to the rhythm of the crackling fire. It is a slow, hypnotic movement, one that encourages the eyes to soften and the mind to let go of its remaining grip on the day. Everything is falling into place. The world is spinning on its axis, far away and indifferent. But here, there is only the order and the care of the bakery. You are invited to simply be, to exist in the spaces between the sounds, and to let the warmth of the hearth do the work of soothing your spirit. The baker moves with a quiet, efficient grace, adjusting a heavy iron tool near the oven's mouth, the metal clinking softly against the brick, a sound that is clear and sharp, cutting through the thick, warm air before fading back into the deep furnace-like roar. It is the sound of readiness, of an impending completion that brings with it a sense of profound fulfillment. As the minutes pass, you feel yourself drifting further away from the conscious waking world and closer to the threshold of deep restorative rest. The rhythm of the bakery is acting as a lullaby, a cadence that your body recognizes and trusts. Every detail, the scent of roasting flour, the radiating heat, the soft shifting light, the deep resonant echoes of the stone, is contributing to a state of absolute unshakable calm. You are in a sanctuary, and the sanctuary is secure. The bolted doors remain tight, the fire remains bright, and the labor remains steady. There is no risk here, no urgency, no expectation. You are free to let your awareness wander, to explore the quiet corners of your own mind, and to find the same sense of peace that fills this room. The dough waits, the oven waits, and the night waits. Everything is in perfect balance, a tableau of tranquility that is yours to occupy for as long as you need. Feel the weight of your body pressing into your seat, the solid, immovable support of the ground beneath you, and the way the warmth of the room seems to dissolve the very idea of effort. You are sinking, drifting, and arriving at a place of pure, unadulterated stillness, where the only thing that exists is the quiet, humming pulse of the bakery and the gentle, slow turning of the stars above the city of Prague. The dough has reached the perfect state of rest, its surface smooth as polished marble, reflecting the dancing amber light of the tallow candles. It sits in the center of the massive oak table, a testament to the hours of patient labor that have unfolded in this hidden subterranean workshop. The air is now heavy, almost intoxicatingly so, with the scent of honey and spice, which seems to have settled into every porous brick and every grain of wood within the chamber. This is the moment of peak atmosphere, where the bakery feels less like a room and more like a living, breathing creature, radiating a warmth that is both physical and emotional. You are nestled in the very epicenter of this comfort. The roar of the oven is a low, continuous drone that has become the soundtrack to your own relaxation, a sound that bridges the gap between the conscious mind and the world of quiet dreams. There is a profound sense of closure here. The work is done, the foundation is set, and the waiting period has begun. This is the time for reflection, for letting the stillness of the bakery seep into the deepest layers of your being. In this 1595 century, there is no pressure to be anything other than exactly who you are in this moment. You are not a traveler, not an observer, but a participant in a cycle of peace that has survived through the centuries. The stone walls around you, cool and thick, act as a barrier against the complexities of the outside world, creating a vacuum of silence that is only filled by the soft, rhythmic pops of the burning logs. It is in this vacuum that you can finally hear yourself think, or better yet, stop thinking altogether. You are invited to release the final threads of your day, to untie the knots of worry that have been held in your muscles, and to let the warmth of the hearth be the only thing that commands your attention. Imagine yourself leaning against the solid, reassuring edge of the oak table. The wood is worn smooth by the passage of time, cool to the touch despite the pervasive heat of the room, providing a perfect contrast to the radiating warmth of the air. You watch the baker as they begin to prepare the oven for the next stage of the process, their movements becoming even more deliberate, more reverent. They handle the iron peel with the care one might reserve for a sacred instrument. The metal slides along the stone floor of the hearth with a long, drawn-out scrape that echoes into the high, dark corners of the ceiling, a sound that is both sharp and oddly satisfying. It is the sound of purpose. You feel a surge of gratitude for the dedication that goes into this work, a recognition that the simple act of baking is an act of love for the community, for the tradition, and for the preservation of life in the face of the long, dark winter night. As the baker moves to the shadows, the firelight flares momentarily, casting a brilliant glow across the room before settling back into a steady, pulsing warmth. This is where the magic of the bakery truly lies, in the intersection of hard physical labor and the ethereal, dreamlike quality of the atmosphere it creates. It is an environment designed to nourish, and it does so in ways that go far beyond the bread itself. By staying here, you are participating in a long-standing tradition of quiet contemplation and emotional restoration. Sleepy History with Arthur is a sleep history storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. We recognize that the stresses of the modern world are persistent and that the antidote often lies in the forgotten wisdom and the quiet, rhythmic traditions of the past. By reimagining these moments, these nights in Prague, these silent kitchens, these warm hearths, we hope to offer you a place where you can truly set down your burdens and find a moment of genuine, uninterrupted peace. The bread will soon rise, the oven will do its work, and the morning will come with the promise of a new start. But for now, you have only the night, the warmth, and the promise of a deep, restorative rest. Feel the weight of your eyelids, the steady, slow rhythm of your heart, and the enveloping, protective embrace of the bakery. The world is at peace, and so are you. The silence in the bakery is not empty, it is full. It is a dense velvet silence that presses gently against the ears, broken only by the rhythmic low-frequency hum of the wood-burning oven. Each log that collapses into ash sends a soft, muffled thud through the masonry, a reminder of the steady transformation of fuel into life-sustaining heat. You are now so deeply integrated into the atmosphere of the room that you can feel the subtle shifts in the air currents, the way the warmth rises in gentle waves, circling the vaulted ceiling before descending back down to brush against the stone floor. This circulation of heat is the pulse of the room, a rhythmic tide that carries with it the sweet, heady aroma of honey and the slightly sharp, resinous scent of clove and cinnamon. It is an olfactory landscape, one that grounds you, reminding you of the physical, elemental reality of this space. You find yourself watching the way the candlelight plays off the rough, porous surface of the stone walls. In the flickers of light, the history of this place seems to reveal itself. You can see the faint, dark stains of smoke from centuries of fires, the microscopic cracks in the mortar that have been weathered by the dampness of 100 Prague winters, and the smoothed edges of the doorway where generations of bakers have passed through. It is a humbling perspective. You are merely one guest in a long lineage of people who have found refuge in this spot. The weight of your own existence feels lighter here, as if the bakery itself is absorbing your cares and dissolving them into the flower-dusted air. There is a profound sense of permission in this realization, the permission to stop striving, to stop planning, and to simply allow yourself to be contained by the warmth. The baker, now a silent, shadowy figure moving at the periphery of your vision, is tending to the final preparations. They move with the grace of someone who knows every inch of this room by heart. There is no need for light to navigate. The rhythm of the space guides them. You hear the soft, periodic scrape of a wooden brush against the oven floor, a sound that is dry and crisp like autumn leaves skittering across pavement. It is a sound that brings a sudden, sharp clarity to the room, cutting through the thick, honey air. This is the precision of the master, the final touch that ensures the heat is distributed perfectly for the long, slow rise of the festive loaves. You appreciate this dedication, not because you're waiting for the bread, but because you are witnessing the beauty of someone taking pride in their craft, even in the middle of a lonely frozen night. Allow yourself to sink deeper into the comfort of your surroundings. Your seat, whatever it may be in this mental construct, feels infinitely supportive. The air around you is thick, warm, and protective. Let your shoulders fall completely. Let the tension in your lower back dissipate as if it were being drawn out by the radiant heat of the oven. Imagine the exterior of this bakery, the dark swirling snow of the Prague night, the silent empty streets, the cold stone of the city walls, and then contrast it with this, the golden glowing interior, where the only thing that matters is the preservation of warmth. This contrast is what makes the piece so potent. You are not just resting, you are hiding in the best possible way. You are tucked away in a place where the world cannot reach you. The rhythm of the fire continues. The scent of the spices deepens, and the slow, steady rotation of the planet feels irrelevant. You are in a pocket of time that is perfectly still, perfectly safe, and perfectly yours. The quiet is absolute. The rest is absolute. There is only the hum of the fire and the slow, steady drift of your own thoughts toward the horizon of sleep. Everything is balanced, and everything is waiting for you to let go just a little bit more and fall into the deep, dark comfort of the night. The stillness has settled so completely into the vaulted space that even the shadows appear to have slowed their dance. The flickering light from the dying candles now creates long, languid reaches against the stone, barely moving, mirroring the state of your own mind. You have transitioned from an active observer to a part of the bakery's foundation, anchored by the consistent deep hum of the brick oven. The heat is no longer just a temperature, it is a weight, a heavy velvet blanket that presses against your skin with a comforting familiarity. It is in this profound state of relaxation that you realize the air itself feels different, less like oxygen and more like an infusion of spice and history. The scent of the honey and the dark roasted flour has become the very medium in which you exist, a sweet and grounding atmosphere that effectively seals you away from the biting reality of the Renaissance night outside. There is a sense of completion here, as if every movement made by the baker, every crackle of the wood, and every breath you take is part of a larger, silent symphony of peace. You can hear the subtle, rhythmic ticking of a clock somewhere deep in the shadows, though you cannot see it. It is not the frantic, sharp sound of a ticking timepiece, but a slow, heavy pulse, steady and deliberate, keeping time for a world that has decided to pause. This sound, combined with the low subterranean rumble of the oven, creates a lullaby that is almost impossible to resist. The baker has moved to a corner of the room, their task finished for the moment, leaving the space to the heat and the fire. You are left alone with the atmosphere, a solitary witness to the sanctity of the bakery. It is an exquisite feeling to be truly alone, yet to feel perfectly safe and nurtured. The thick stone walls act as a barrier to any stray thoughts or worries that might try to follow you in from the outside. Go out here. The only thing that exists is the present, a golden-hued, warm-scented, and deeply quiet present. Think of the contrast between this and the world outside, a world of cold wind, of sharp edges, of demands and expectations. Here, the only demand is that you breathe. The only expectation is that you find your own way to rest. You are being given the time and space to recalibrate, to let the noise of your life fade into the background until it is nothing more than a faint, inconsequential echo. The resonance of the high stone arches above you seems to carry your thoughts up and away, scattering them into the darkness of the vaulted ceiling, where they simply vanish. You are becoming lighter, freer, more expansive. The weight of your body, usually so heavy with the fatigue of the day, is now supported by the earth itself, which feels as firm and reliable as the stone floor beneath your feet. Everything is held in suspension, a perfectly balanced state of being that is both physical and ethereal. You find yourself sinking into the memory of the warmth, letting it soak into your bones and settle in the gaps between your thoughts. There is a profound sense of gratitude for this sanctuary. Sleepy History with Arthur combines the power of AI to reimagine fictional historical tales, bringing peace, relaxation, and positive emotional values to our listeners. It is our goal to take these moments of quiet, to polish them until they shine, and to offer them to you as a refuge. In this place, the history of 1595 Prague is not a story of turmoil or change, but a story of the bread, the heat, and the quiet devotion of a baker. It is a story of human continuity, of the small, beautiful ways in which we have always sought to create warmth and comfort in the face of the dark. As the fire burns down, the orange glow softens into a deep amber red, painting the room in a color of absolute uncompromising safety. You are safe, you are warm, and as the night deepens, you are invited to let your eyes finally close, to succumb to the heavy, peaceful pool of sleep, knowing that the bakery remains, holding its warmth, protecting its quiet, and honoring the simple, rhythmic beauty of the night. The room has descended into a deep, meditative state where even the silence feels heavy and textured, like an old woven tapestry. The flickering orange glow from the oven's heart is the only source of light, casting a warm, pulsating aura that reaches into the far, shadowy corners of the stone vault. You are sitting in the center of this golden light, feeling the gentle heat radiate against your skin, a sensation that is increasingly indistinguishable from the feeling of being held. The air, thick with the lingering essence of honey, toasted grains, and the lingering peppery spice of cloves, acts as a protective layer, insulating you from the freezing temperatures that grip the streets of Prague. You are no longer aware of the time, nor do you care for the passage of it. The outside world, with its cold stone alleys and its howling winds, has ceased to be relevant. In this sanctuary, there is only the slow rhythmic expansion and contraction of the air, the soft settling sounds of the brick hearth, and your own increasingly steady heartbeat. This is a space of pure restoration. You might feel a urge to hold on to the remaining remnants of your day, the lingering list of things to do, or the shadows of interactions that still occupy the back of your mind. But here, the weight of those thoughts is unsustainable. The environment is too calm, too grounded, and too inherently peaceful to allow for the maintenance of any internal turbulence. Each inhalation brings in the scent of the bakery, a scent that is inherently linked to nourishment and home, while each exhalation carries away a piece of the tension you brought with you. You are literally breathing out the stress and breathing in the stillness. It is a simple biological process, but here it feels like a profound ritual. If you feel ready to fully release your grip on the day, consider how powerful it is to allow yourself to surrender. By subscribing to our channel, you gain access to a growing library of these historical sanctuaries, each one carefully crafted to serve as a bridge between the noise of the modern world and the deep, silent wisdom of the past. Joining our community is an invitation to prioritize your own peace and to ensure that you always have a place to return to when the world becomes too demanding. Hit the notification bell so you are alerted the moment we open the doors to our next historical retreat. It is a small, easy action that secures your access to a lifetime of quiet, inspired rest. As you lean back into the comforting ambient hum of the bakery, notice how your body has begun to mirror the stillness of the room. Your limbs feel heavy, relaxed, and completely supported. The floor beneath you, solid and unmoving, seems to absorb the remaining tension from your frame, grounding you firmly in this moment. The baker, a quiet presence in the dim periphery, has ceased their work, yet the room remains vibrant with the energy of what they have created. The dough is now resting, the oven is perfectly calibrated, and the air is pregnant with potential. But there is no urgency. The festival for which this dough is being prepared is still ours, perhaps even a whole day away. The time between now and then is a vacuum of possibility, a beautiful quiet interlude, where the only responsibility is to remain in this state of calm. The vaulted ceiling, once an intimidating expanse of shadow, now feels like a protective dome, cupping the room and focusing the energy inward. There is an intimacy here that is rare in the wide open world. It is the intimacy of the hearth, of the fire, and of the quiet, shared experience of simply existing. You have reached a level of comfort that is deep, restorative, and entirely unburdened. As the fire continues its slow rhythmic work of turning wood into amber and amber into warmth, let your consciousness drift further into the quiet. You are in the heart of Prague in the year 1595 and you are perfectly safe. You are part of the story of this night, a witness to the beauty of the craft and the power of the stillness. Every detail of your environment, from the subtle sweet scent of the honey to the resonant, deep sound of the stone walls, is tuned to your relaxation. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The atmosphere within the vaulted bakery has shifted from one of industry to one of deep, sanctified repose. The fire in the great brick oven has settled into a state of glowing maturity, the logs having transformed into a dense, radiant bed of embers that cast a soft, pulsing light throughout the chamber. This light, a rich and deep shade of copper, touches the walls and the ceiling, making the stone look as if it were draped in velvet. The air has become perfectly still, as if the very molecules have aligned themselves to support your rest. The intoxicating aroma of the spices, the cinnamon, the cloves, and the dark, thick honey has matured as well, lingering in the air with a weight that feels almost physical. It is a protective, warm blanket that wraps around your senses, encouraging them to dampen and turn inward. You are no longer observing the bakery. You are submerged within it, caught in the slow, rhythmic tide of its existence. Listen to the sounds that define this piece. There is the occasional soft sigh of the embers as they shift, a sound so delicate that it seems to vibrate within the very core of the room. There is the low, barely audible hum of the heat itself, a frequency that resonates with your own heart rate, slowing it down, guiding it into a state of profound, meditative stillness. And then there is the silence, the immense ancient silence of a stone structure built to withstand the elements, standing resolute against the biting winds of the Prague night. This silence is not empty, it is full of potential, full of the quiet history of 1,000 nights spent in this exact way, preparing for the sustenance of the morning. You are part of that lineage now, a quiet guest invited to share in the sanctity of the hearth. As you relax, notice how your mind begins to detach from the linear progression of time. In the world outside, time is a tyrant, marking every passing second with an expectation or a demand. But here, time behaves differently. It stretches and expands, curling around the curves of the stone arches and settling into the deep dark corners of the bakery. You are free from the tyranny of the clock. There's no need to anticipate what comes next, because what is happening now, this warmth, this scent, this total security, is all that is required. You can feel your thoughts becoming less like words and more like sensations, floating in the warm air, untethered and unburdened. The act of thinking itself feels like an unnecessary effort, one that you can easily discard in favor of simply feeling, simply being. Consider the baker who remains a silent guardian of this space. They have moved to a wooden stool, their posture relaxed, their eyes perhaps drifting shut as they listen to the crackle of the hearth. They too have entered the state of grace that this space provides. There is a beautiful, unspoken camaraderie in this, two souls or perhaps many more, sharing in the quiet, restorative labor of the night. You are not alone, yet you have all the solitude you could possibly desire. It is a perfect balance. one that allows you to release your need to be self-sufficient and instead lean into the collective peace of the room. The bakery is a self-contained world, a micro-universe of heat and light, and you are its protected center. Allow yourself to succumb to the heavy, pleasant pull of the environment. If your eyes have been flickering, let them finally close. If your limbs have been holding even the slightest bit of tension, let that tension be dissolved by the sheer encompassing warmth of the room. You are being held by the stone, by the fire, by the history of this place, and by the promise of the coming dawn. There is nothing to fear, nothing to resolve, and nothing to do. The night is a long, slow exhale, and you are the breath itself. As the amber glow continues to cast its soothing, rhythmic shadows, feel yourself drifting deeper into the quiet, letting the outer edges of your consciousness melt away until there is nothing left but the warmth, the scent, and the perfect undisturbed stillness of the bakery. The deep, resonant hum of the oven has become the central axis upon which the entire world turns tonight. Every other sensation, the tactile coolness of the distant stone walls, the lingering warmth of the air, the heavy scent of a fermented dough is anchored to that low, subterranean vibration. It is a sound that feels as if it were emanating from the very earth itself, a slow, deep-throated note that provides an immutable sense of safety. You are nestled in a pocket of time where the modern world, with its frantic pace and its thin metallic noises, has no place. In 1595, the night is absolute, a thick, dark velvet that covers the city of Prague, leaving only this single glowing chamber as a bastion of life and purpose. You feel yourself sinking deeper into this reality, your body becoming heavy, your mind slowing to the pace of the embers. The transition from the person who walked in from the cold to the person who is now part of this stillness is complete. You are no longer watching the scene, you are the scene. Think of the texture of the air here. It is not just oxygen, it is a composition, a layered, thick mixture of particles that tell a story of labor and devotion. The flour dust, which dances in the thin amber beams of light, feels like a physical manifestation of time. It moves in slow, erratic patterns, drifting through the heat currents that swirl near the ceiling, settling gently on surfaces that have been polished by generations of contact. There is an incredible understated beauty in this. We spend so much of our lives trying to control our environments, trying to scrub away the dust, trying to freeze the moment in place. But here, there is a total surrender to the environment. The dust settles where it will, the heat rises and falls according to the dictates of the fire, and you are free to simply exist within the fluctuations of the room. It is a liberation of the highest order. As you sit or lie within this space, focus on your breathing. Do not try to regulate it, just observe it. Watch how, without any conscious effort, your breath begins to mimic the cadence of the bakery. It is slow, deep, and steady. The inhalation is flavored by the scent of honey and spices, while the exhalation is a release of the final residual stresses of your day. Each time you let go of a breath, you let go of a thought, a memory, or an expectation. It is a rhythmic cleansing, a way of purifying the mind by letting the environment do the work for you. You are being lulled by the architecture of the space, by the geometry of the vaulted ceiling that reflects sound in such a way that the roar of the oven is smoothed into a gentle continuous wave. If you find that your mind still wanders, bring it back to the sound of the iron peel resting against the brick. It is a sharp, distinct, and final sound, the sound of the last movement of the evening. It signifies that the work is truly concluded, that there is nothing left to be done until the morning sun finds the city. This finality is a gift. It is the permission slip you have been waiting for, the authorization to stop, to rest, and to let the night reclaim you. The baker has retreated to the shadows. Their presence felt only as a soft, reassuring weight in the corner of the room. They too are resting. The whole bakery is resting, and you in this golden, warm, and scented silence are the most at rest of all. The shadows are long and graceful, moving with the sluggishness of honey, and the heat continues to hold you in a gentle, persistent embrace. Everything is fading into the comfort of the dark, and you are more than happy to let it. The world outside is cold, but here the fire is everything. The fire is love, the fire is life, and the fire is the source of the profound, unmoving peace that is currently wrapping you in its soft, impenetrable shell. The darkness outside the thick bolted doors of the bakery has deepened, reaching a point of total intensity where the only light left in the universe seems to be the one radiating from this hearth. You are in a place of perfect isolation, an island of warmth in a sea of winter. This is the stage of the night where the walls of the bakery seem to dissolve, not into the cold, but into a wider, more expansive sense of belonging. You are not just in a room in 1595, you are in a space that exists outside of time, a place where the barriers between your own consciousness and the world have become permeable. The heat has worked its way into your very core, softening the edges of your identity until you feel as fluid and calm as the dough that rests on the table. This is the ultimate comfort, a state of being that is both intensely personal and deeply universal. Consider the journey you have taken to reach this point. You have moved through the cold of the streets, through the threshold of the bakery, and into the deep rhythmic heart of the night. Each step of that journey has been a shedding of weight, a release of the unnecessary, and an embrace of the essential. You are lighter now than you were before, both in body and in mind. The heavy lifting of your day, the complex, tangled webs of your responsibilities have been left far behind. You are here to rest, to be nourished, and to find the center of your own quiet. As you look around at the vaulted ceiling, notice the way the light catches the uneven texture of the stone. Each crevice and ridge is a testament to the passage of time, a physical record of the many nights the bakery has stood watch over the city. You are a part of that record now, a silent, peaceful note in the long, ongoing song of this place. Before we drift further into the stillness, we want to remind you that your journey here is a choice to value your peace over the demands of the world. If you have found solace in this long, slow night, please share this experience by subscribing to our channel. Your presence in our community allows us to continue creating these immersive, historical refuges, ensuring that whenever you need to find this warmth again, the doors will be open. By hitting that subscribe button and turning on the bell, you are investing in your own well-being, guaranteeing yourself a space of refuge that is always waiting, no matter how long the day has been or how cold the world feels. Join us in this pursuit of peace, and let us continue to build these sanctuaries together, one night, one story, and one breath at a time. Your support is the foundation upon which these moments of rest are built, and we are grateful to have you as part of our journey. As you sink back into the quiet, notice the subtle shift in the scent profile of the room. The initial sharpness of the fresh spices has mellowed, leaving behind a deep, lingering sweetness that feels like a physical presence. It is a grounding scent, one that anchors you to the earth and reminds you of the simple fundamental connection between human life and the food that sustains it. This connection is the essence of the bakery. It is a place of fundamental truths, where the complexity of the world is boiled down to the basic requirements of fire, dough, and time. In this reduction, you find the clarity that is often missing from your waking life. You see clearly what matters and what does not. What matters is the warmth on your skin, the steady beat of the fire, the comfort of the silence, and the quiet rhythmic peace that is currently carrying you toward the horizon of a deep and restorative sleep. The rest of the world is falling away, leaving you in this beautiful gilded state of being where nothing is expected of you and everything is provided. The night has fully claimed the city, and within the watered sanctuary of the bakery, the silence has become profound. It is a weight, but a benevolent one, a pressure that pushes all remaining thoughts toward the exit, leaving your mind clear, expansive, and ready to rest. You can no longer distinguish between the sound of your own heart and the slow, heavy throb of the embers in the oven. They have become one and the same, a singular unified pulse that defines the rhythm of this space. The heat is thick, golden, and pervasive, filling every inch of the stone chamber and pressing against your skin with the consistency of a warm, heavy blanket. You have reached the final layer of your journey, the point where the distinction between you and the environment dissolves completely. You are not just in the bakery is in you, its warmth radiating through your muscles, its silence settling in your mind, and its peace defining your existence. Observe the shadows one last time. They are no longer dancing. They have grown static, deep, and comfortable, stretched across the floor like tired travelers finding rest after a long road. The candles are at their very end, flickering with a faint final effort that only serves to highlight the richness of the darkness. This is the moment of ultimate surrender. You are not giving up, you are letting go. There is a distinction between the two, and here it is clear. You are letting go of the need to be, to do, to hold, and to carry. You are releasing the tension that has defined your posture, the thoughts that have defined your day, and the worries that have defined your stress. In this place of ancient comfort, that release is not just possible, it is inevitable. You are being held by the stone, by the fire, and by the centuries of rest that have been practiced here. Think of the morning. It will come, as it always does. The sun will rise over Prague, the snow will catch the first rays of light, and the city will stir to life with the sound of bells and the bustle of commerce. But that is a different world, a world of time and movement. Here, there is only the night, there is only the endless, stable dark, and the protective, glowing heart of the oven. You have the luxury of remaining here for as long as you wish, suspended in this perfect, amber-colored pause. There is no urgency in the morning. It is a promise that will keep. For now, you have the night and the night has you. The scent of the honey and the wood fire is the last thing you will know before you slip into the deep black water of sleep. A scent that will linger in your mind, guiding you toward the softest, most peaceful dreams imaginable. Everything is balanced, the bakery is secure, the bread is waiting, and you are entirely, completely, and utterly safe. Feel the weight of your body anchoring you to the floor, the absolute stability of the stone beneath you, and the way the warmth of the room seems to breathe with you. You are in the heart of a Renaissance night, in the quietest, warmest corner of the world, and there is nowhere else you need to be. The fire is burning down to its final golden glow. The shadows are deepening into a comfortable, protective embrace, and the silence is absolute. It is time to let the day dissolve, to let the mind uncoil, and to step across the threshold into the dark, welcoming sea of rest. Let the last remnants of your awareness drift away, carried by the warmth and the peace of the bakery. And know that here, in this quiet, golden, and protected space, you are finally, truly, and deeply at home. The transition into the deepest phase of the night is marked not by a sound, but by the cessation of all resistance. You find yourself drifting in the warm, spice-laden air, your consciousness light as a feather, untethered from the heavy demands of the world. The vaulted ceiling, high above in the shadows, seems to hum with the accumulated peace of centuries. You are in a sanctuary designed by necessity but perfected by time. The baker has long since ceased their rhythmic movements, and the absence of that sound, that steady slap and fold, is not a void but a resolution. It is the final period at the end of a long, beautiful, and necessary sentence. The oven, now the sole active entity in the room, radiates a heat that feels less like fire and more like an extension of your own vitality. It is a slow, pulsing energy that flows through the stone, through the floor, and directly into you. warming the marrow of your bones and the furthest reaches of your tired mind. Think about the environment you have cultivated within your own thoughts. You have stripped away the clutter. You have removed the sharp, jagged edges of the day's anxieties. You have created a space that is as soft and rounded as the dough resting on the oak table. This is the ultimate comfort, the ability to build a world inside your own head that is as warm, as secure, and as profoundly quiet as this vaulted bakery. The cinnamon-scented air acts as a catalyst for this internal architecture, helping you to cement the peace you have found. Every inhalation is a brick in your wall of serenity. Every exhalation is a smoothing of the mortar. You are safe because you have decided to be. You are at rest because you have surrendered to the reality of the moment. The darkness that presses against the heavy, bolted doors of the bakery is no longer something to fear. It is the boundary that defines your sanctuary. In the world beyond, there is cold, there is wind, there is the unpredictable nature of winter in Prague, but none of those things have power here. They are external, they are distant, they are entirely separate from the golden, glowing reality of this chamber. You are insulated by stone, by tradition, and by the sheer density of the heat. If a stray thought of the morning's responsibilities tries to intrude, watch it arrive, acknowledge it, and then imagine it being swept away by the slow, gentle draft that circulates near the floor. It has no substance, it has no weight, it cannot survive in this environment of deep, unhurried rest. Feel the physical manifestation of this peace. Your hands, which have likely been curled or tense, are now open and relaxed. Your jaw, which has held the weight of the day's conversations, is soft. Your chest is rising and falling with a rhythm that is not your own, but the rhythm of the bakery, the slow, eternal cadence of a fire that has been tended for 1,000 years. You are in perfect synchronization with the past. You are a ghost, a visitor, a welcome guest in a space that asks for nothing and gives everything. The shadows are your companions and the heat is your protector. There is nothing left to do but sink. Sink into the warmth, sink into the silence, and sink into the profound, dark, and wonderful knowledge that for the next several hours you have no obligations. You are in the heart of the night, and the heart of the night is where you belong. The stillness has deepened to such an extent that you can hear the faint, crystalline crackle of the salt on the stone floor, a sound so delicate it seems like a secret. The bakery has become an echo chamber for your own tranquility. You are no longer thinking in words. You are thinking in sensations, in waves of heat, in the scent of roasted grain, and in the feeling of absolute, unwavering safety. The iron bolt on the door, which you heard slide shut hours ago, is the boundary between reality and this dreamlike state, and it remains firmly in place. You are locked in not as a prisoner, but as a protected secret, hidden away from the world in a vessel of warmth. This is the luxury of the Renaissance night, the ability to be completely, utterly unreachable. Consider the sensation of being weightless, despite the heavy stone of the room. Your physical presence is anchored to the bench or the floor, but your awareness is floating, drifting toward the vaulted arches, blending with the shadows and the scent of the honey. This is the flight of the mind when it is finally truly unburdened. You are soaring through a history that you helped to build just by being here. The baker's labor, which felt so rhythmic and grounding, was the catalyst, but you have become the recipient. You have inherited the rest that they earned. It is a shared, quiet, and profound transfer of peace. You are not alone in this, even if you are the only one awake. You are part of a lineage of people who have, throughout the ages, found their way to such rooms, such fires, and such moments of grace. The scent is now the most powerful element of the room. It is a combination of everything that has happened here tonight. The wild yeast, the dark rich honey, the wood smoke, the crushed spices, and the cooling flour. It is a scent of fulfillment of a task perfectly executed. It reminds you of the bounty of the harvest, of the stability of the home, and of the fundamental goodness of the human instinct to provide. If you feel a sense of gratitude, hold on to it. Gratitude is a warm stone that you can carry with you into your dreams. It is an anchor that keeps you steady when the mind tries to stray back into the territory of the day. You are grateful for the warmth. You are grateful for the safety. You are grateful for the quiet. And in that gratitude, you find the final necessary piece of the puzzle that allows you to fall completely and finally asleep. As you listen to the oven's dying embers, realize that they are not just wood turning to ash, they are the physical form of the time you have spent here. The fire has consumed the wood so that you might be warm. There is a sacredness to that sacrifice, a quiet, elemental generosity that deserves your respect. You do not need to wake up, you do not need to check the time, and you do not need to worry about the cold. The fire has done its work, the bakery has done its work. Now, it is your turn to do yours, to sleep, to dream, and to be replenished. The darkness is soft, the heat is constant, and you are surrounded by the most gentle, ancient, and protective silence imaginable. Let the last threads of your focus dissolve. You are drifting into the deep, dark, and beautiful embrace of the night. The silence is now so complete that you can perceive the texture of the air itself, a thick, velvet medium that carries the warmth of the hearth to every corner of the room. You are resting at the very center of this, your mind a quiet pool that reflects the flickering, dying light of the embers. The bakery is no longer a place you are visiting. It is the entire universe. There is no outside, no Prague, no winter, no tomorrow. There is only this room, this stone, this heat, and the slow rhythmic beating of your own heart, which has found the exact frequency of the space. You are in a state of grace, a moment suspended in the amber glow of the 16th century, where the only thing that matters is the maintenance of peace. Think of the way a fire dies down. It does not go out with a sudden end. It fades through degrees of warmth, through varying shades of red, from the bright energetic orange to the deep smoldering glow of the core. You are following that path. You are moving through the stages of relaxation, from the initial active effort of settling in to the deep smoldering state of near sleep. It is a natural, inevitable process, and you are allowing it to take its course with complete trust. You have no need to fight the pull of sleep, because sleep is not a destination. It is the natural resting place of the soul. You are returning to your center, returning to the quiet, returning to the place where you began. The vaulted stone above you is your shield, a massive, immovable structure that has seen centuries of human struggle and has offered shelter to them all. You are just the latest guest in this long, unbroken history of sanctuary. There is a profound, comforting connection in this realization, the idea that you are not the first to be this tired, nor the first to be this safe, nor the first to find relief in the smell of a wood-fired hearth. You are part of a story that is as old as the discovery of fire itself. The bread, the spices, the heat, the stone, these are the constants of human comfort. They have not changed, and they do not change, because they are the elements of our survival and our deepest, most profound sense of well-being. As the final light fades from the oven and the room moves into the deep, velvety shadows of the final watch, know that you have arrived. You have reached the end of the journey, the point of complete and total relaxation. Your body is no longer a burden. It is a weightless, relaxed vessel, and your mind is no longer a tool of analysis. It is a dream maker. The air is cool now, but the lingering warmth of the hearth still clings to the stone, a gentle reminder of the shelter you have found. You are perfectly secure, perfectly calm, and perfectly at peace. Let the silence be your blanket, let the shadows be your sanctuary, and let the long, slow, and wonderful night take you exactly where you need to go. You are asleep, you are dreaming, you are at rest. The bakery is quiet, the night is dark, and everything finally is well. The embers have settled into a dark, pulsing core of heat that radiates a deep, almost gravitational pull on your consciousness. The air, once sharp with the vibrancy of spices, has now mellowed into a thick, sweet, and comforting musk that fills the lungs and settles the nerves. You are in the deepest reaches of the night, a time when the world outside has truly vanished, leaving only this stone-vaulted reality. The bakery has transformed into a tomb of tranquility, a place where time ceases to have any linear progression. You are aware of the silence not as an absence of sound, but as a presence that holds you, a soft and impenetrable barrier against the chaos of the waking world. Every inch of your body feels aligned with the architecture of the space. The weight of your limbs matches the density of the stone floors, and the rhythm of your breath matches the slow tectonic cooling of the brick oven. It is a harmonious state of being, a complete and total integration into the environment of the bakery. Consider the nature of this sanctuary. It is built from the most fundamental elements: stone, fire, grain, and water. And these elements have a way of speaking directly to the most ancient parts of the human mind. When you are surrounded by them, the modern veneer of your life, with its constant need for processing, planning, and achieving, simply flakes away. You are left with the essence of who you are, stripped of titles, burdens, and expectations. You are a person in a place at rest. There is a profound, almost primal safety in this realization. You do not need to prove your value here. The bakery does not care about your success or your failures. It only cares that you are safe, that you are warm, and that you have found a place to let the fire of your own energy subside into a gentle restorative smolder. This state of surrender is the ultimate gift of the night. You are watching your own mind as it moves from the sharp focus of the day into the hazy, beautiful, and fluid landscape of the threshold of sleep. It is a slow, downward drift, a gentle descent into the dark, welcoming waters of the subconscious. You can feel the edges of your identity softening, the boundaries between you and the room becoming blurred. The scent of the honeyed flower is like a physical tether that keeps you connected to the earth, even as your mind begins to wander into the realms of dreams. There is no need to grasp for consciousness, no need to fight the heaviness of your eyelids. Every surrender is a gain in peace, a gain in depth, and a gain in the profound, quiet energy that sleep provides. As the shadows lengthen and the last of the heat radiates from the hearth, acknowledge the stillness as a living thing. It is a witness to your rest. It is a participant in your quiet. There is an immense quiet joy in realizing that nothing is required of you until the sun touches the spires of the city. And even then, there will be no rush. You have claimed this time for yourself, and you have chosen the perfect place to spend it. The bakery holds you in its vaulted embrace, a silent ancient protector that has guided countless others through the long, dark, and weary nights of the past. You are following a path that is well trodden, a path of rest, of renewal, and of the quiet, beautiful simplicity of human existence. Let the night carry you deeper. Let the warmth be your anchor. Let the silence be your song. The atmosphere inside the bakery has achieved a state of absolute equilibrium. The heat from the oven has permeated every fiber of the room, creating a microclimate of perfect, unassailable comfort. Even the stone floor, which felt cold when you first entered, now radiates a gentle, steady warmth that seems to seep into your body from below, grounding you in this space. You are in a cocoon of safety, a hidden pocket of the world that knows nothing of the cold, the wind, or the passage of years. The darkness is so complete that it feels like you are floating in a void that is not empty, but filled with the soft velvet pressure of total peace. You are entirely alone, yet you have never felt more connected to the beauty of human craft and the sanctity of the heart. In this deep, undisturbed silence, the mind becomes a mirror. Without the constant input of sensory details or the demands of daily tasks, your consciousness reflects only the core of your being. You find that you are naturally, inherently, and perfectly at ease. The worries that seemed so significant only hours ago now appear as tiny distant specks on the horizon, entirely disconnected from the reality of the present moment. You have the luxury of viewing them from a distance, of seeing them for what they are, transient, manageable, and ultimately unimportant. This is the clarity that comes with true rest, the wisdom that is only accessible when the mind has finally stopped its frantic, restless motion. You are becoming a vessel of stillness, a quiet, steady presence in the center of the dark. Think about the passage of time in this space. Outside, the night is moving toward the dawn, but inside, time is a circle. It repeats the cycle of the fire, the dough, and the rest. You are suspended in that cycle, a part of the rhythm that keeps the world alive and nourished. There is a sense of belonging here that goes beyond simple location. You belong to the bakery, and the bakery belongs to you. You are a participant in the long ancient story of the bread, a silent witness to the quiet, vital labor that sustains us all. This connection provides a deep, underlying sense of meaning, a recognition that your rest is not a waste of time, but a fundamental, necessary, and beautiful part of your existence. You are refueling your spirit, restoring your connection to the physical world, and preparing yourself for the life that will continue when the dawn breaks. Allow the relaxation to go even deeper. Let your physical body become as heavy and immovable as the stone walls around you. Let your breath become so slow and steady that it is barely a movement at all. You are entering the realm of the deepest, most restorative sleep, where the mind repairs itself and the spirit is renewed. The darkness is a soft, warm, and inviting blanket that covers you from head to toe. You have no more questions to answer, no more decisions to make, and no more paths to walk. The journey is over, and you have arrived at the destination. The bakery is silent. The fire is a faint, glowing memory of warmth, and you are ready to let go of the last faint thread of your waking mind. The night is a gift, and you are accepting it with every breath, with every heartbeat, and with every step into the final peaceful embrace of the dream. The vault of the bakery is a cathedral of silence now, an immense echoing space that has absorbed all the sounds of the day and replaced them with a profound resonant peace. You are lying within this space, your awareness having retracted from the world entirely, leaving you in a state of pure, unadulterated existence. The air has cooled slightly, a crisp, refreshing change that feels clean and clear against your skin, providing a final, gentle reminder of the contrast between the cold outside and the sanctuary you have created within. You are protected, you are sustained. You are held by the memory of the fire and the solidity of the stone. This is the final frontier of the night, the place where the conscious mind finally steps back and allows the subconscious to take the lead. Reflect on the necessity of this journey. How often do you allow yourself the space to truly disconnect, to step away from the current of your life and sit in the quiet? It is an act of courage, a declaration that you are more than the things you do or the problems you solve. By choosing to occupy this space, by listening to the stories of the bakery and the rhythm of the hearth, you are asserting your right to peace, your right to rest, and your right to be simply, perfectly human. This is why we created these journeys, to provide you with a map to the quiet places, a compass for the turbulent waters of the mind, and a doorway to the sanctuaries that exist in the history of the world. You have found your way here, and you have found your peace. If this experience has brought you a sense of calm that you wish to carry with you, we encourage you to make this space a permanent part of your life. Consider subscribing to our channel, not just for the stories, but for the commitment to your own well-being that it represents. Each time you return to these sessions, you are strengthening the pathways of rest in your own brain, building a habit of peace that will serve you throughout the most demanding days. We are building a community here, a collective of people who understand that the power of history lies not in its dates or its kings, but in its quiet human moments, the moments of warmth, the moments of reflection, and the moments of stillness. By joining us, you are adding your presence to this shared restorative history, and you are ensuring that whenever you need to find this room again, it will be waiting for you exactly as you left it. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications, and let us continue to provide you with the anchors you need to stay steady, grounded, and at peace. The night is drawing to a close, but the peace you have cultivated is yours to keep. As you drift further into the dark, let the final images of the bakery, the soft amber light, the scarred oak table, the high stone arches, be the last things you carry with you into your dreams. These images are symbols of the refuge you have found, and they will stay with you, tucked away in the back of your mind, ready to be called upon whenever the world feels loud, cold, or demanding. You are prepared, you are replenished, and you are deeply, profoundly at rest. Let the final echoes of the bakery be your lullaby, a slow, gentle song of comfort that guides you through the darkest hours of the night and brings you safely to the dawn. You are home, you are safe, you are asleep. The bakery stands watch, the stone holds the heat, and the quiet remains, perfect and infinite, for as long as you need it to be. The final embers in the heart of the stone oven have turned to a pale, powdery gray, the last heat having surrendered itself to the room. The bakery is now a cathedral of cool, still air, and the silence has expanded to fill every crevice of the vaulted ceiling. You find yourself in a state of suspension, where the body is heavy with the comfort of sleep and the mind is drifting in the calm, dark waters of total relaxation. The transition from the warmth of the fire to the cool embrace of the deep night is seamless. You are not disturbed by the change in temperature, but rather cradled by it. It is the natural rhythm of the sanctuary, a cycle that mirrors your own state of being, shifting from the active fiery energy of the beginning of the night to this final quiet and profoundly peaceful state of rest. You are completely surrendered. There is no resistance left in your muscles, no lingering tension in your jaw, and no pressure in your thoughts. You have reached the very bottom of the well of peace. In this deep stillness, you are aware of the building itself. You can almost feel the weight of the stone blocks above you, the massive centuries-old masonry that has shielded this corner of Prague from the elements for generations. There is an immense, immovable strength in this architecture, a permanence that stands in stark contrast to the fleeting nature of your daily worries. When you lean into the consciousness of this place, you feel that same strength anchoring you. You are part of the foundation now, stable, secure, and entirely unbothered by the passage of the outside world. The city of Prague, with its twisting alleys and its cold winter air, it's just a memory, a distant idea that has no relevance to the reality of this room. You are tucked away, sheltered and completely safe within the walls of this ancient silent space. Consider the beauty of this total lack of expectation. In the daylight, you are measured by what you do, by what you say, and by what you provide for others. Here, in the dark, you are measured only by your ability to be. You are not a worker, a provider, or a planner. You are a living soul breathing in the quiet and existing for no other reason than to inhabit this moment of grace. This is the ultimate freedom. It is the liberation that comes from realizing that you can step away from the narrative of your life and simply observe the silence. The scent of the roasted grains and the faint wood smoke memory of the oven still linger in the air, a final fragrant reminder of the hospitality of the bakery. It is a scent that acts as a bookmark, a way for you to return to this exact feeling of peace whenever you might need it again. As the darkness envelops you, notice how your breathing has become almost imperceptible. It is a slow, rhythmic motion that feels like the rocking of a small boat on a calm, deep lake. You are drifting further from the shore of your conscious mind, moving into the expansive, creative, and healing realms of deep sleep. There is no fear in this departure. You are moving toward a place of restoration where your energy will be renewed, your perspective will be sharpened, and your heart will be soothed. Everything is working in your favor. The silence is working for you, the darkness is working for you, the history of this sanctuary is working for you. You are not losing consciousness, you are gaining depth. You are not falling away, you are falling into place. The night is a cradle, and you are being held in the safest, quietest, and most beautiful embrace that the world can offer. You are now floating in the absolute center of the night. The bakery is a shell, a protective layer that exists between you and the rest of the world. And within that shell, everything is perfectly balanced. Your body has become so relaxed that you can no longer distinguish where you end and the ground begins. You are part of the architecture, a silent, peaceful element of the vaulted chamber. The darkness has shifted from a void into a medium, a soft, thick substance that allows you to move through it without effort. Every thought that arises is immediately dissolved by the quiet, a process that is as automatic and natural as the way the dust settles on the cold stone floor. You are in the realm of the infinite, a space where the boundaries of the self have been expanded to include the peace of the entire room. Think about the silence again. It has evolved. It's no longer just the absence of sound. It's the presence of a profound ancient wisdom. It is the sound of the world breathing when it is not being hurried. It is the sound of time resting. If you could listen to the heartbeat of the earth, it would sound like this: slow, steady, and entirely unbothered by the fleeting concerns of humanity. By aligning yourself with this silence, you are tuning your own nervous system to the natural frequency of rest. You are allowing the erratic, high-tension patterns of your day to be smoothed out by the steady, low-frequency hum of the quiet. It is a biological reset, a way of returning to your own factory settings, peaceful, grounded, and whole. There is a sense of completion here that is very rare. You have finished the journey you began hours ago, and you have arrived at a destination of perfect rest. There is nothing else to seek, nothing else to find, and nothing else to reach for. The circle is closed. You have witnessed the labor, felt the warmth, inhaled the peace, and now you are inhabiting the result. It is a state of total fulfillment. If you were to stay in this state forever, it would be enough. But you don't have to stay. You can come and go as you please, using this memory of the bakery as a touchstone. Whenever you find yourself in the middle of a storm, you can reach back and touch the cool solid stone of these walls, and you can smell the faint, sweet scent of the honeyed dough. You can be back here in this instant, and you can reclaim the peace that you have cultivated tonight. Let the final threads of your awareness fade away into the deep, dark, and beautiful silence. You have no more responsibilities, no more tasks, and no more questions. You are free. The world is at rest. The stars above Prague are silent in their orbits, and the bakery is a sanctuary that never sleeps, even as you do. It will remain here, a part of the history of the night, waiting for you to return whenever you need the strength that only silence can provide. You are falling into the deepest, softest, and most restorative sleep of your life. The quiet is absolute. The rest is final. You are at home in the dark. The night has reached its final, most silent hour. The bakery, now a cool moon-shadowed cavern of peace, holds you in a stillness so profound that it feels like a dream. You are in the deepest possible state of relaxation, a level of rest where the mind has completely surrendered to the wisdom of the body. There is no longer any distinction between the room and your thoughts. They are one and the same. You are the quiet, you are the cold stone. You are the scent of the wood, you are the peace of the 16th century. This is the culmination of your journey, the point where the outside world has entirely disappeared, leaving only the reality of this restored, quieted spirit. You are as safe as it is possible to be. Look back at the path you have traveled. You have walked through the freezing streets of Prague. You have crossed the threshold of the heavy bolted doors, and you have sat by the hearth while the baker worked their slow rhythmic magic. You have seen the transformation of the ingredients, felt the intensity of the heat, and experienced the profound transformative power of the silence. It has been a full journey, one that has brought you from the edge of exhaustion to the center of total, deep restoration. You have honored your need for rest, and in doing so, you have honored yourself. This is an act of profound self-respect, a way of ensuring that you remain whole and steady in a world that often demands that you be fragmented. If you have found your sanctuary here tonight, we invite you to make this space a permanent part of your life. Sleepy History with Arthur is more than just a series of stories, it is a commitment to the restorative power of peace. By subscribing to our channel, you ensure that you always have access to these historical refuges, these quiet, warm corners of the past, where you can set down your burdens and find the stillness you need to thrive. Joining our community is an act of intention, a way of saying that you value your own well-being and that you choose to prioritize the cultivation of peace. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and let us continue to provide you with the anchors you need to stay grounded and restored night after night. Your support is the heartbeat of this platform, and your presence in these stories makes the sanctuary all the more real for everyone who enters. As you step into the final peaceful moments of the night, let go of the last faint effort of thought. There is no more need for words, no more need for analysis, and no more need for direction. You are where you are meant to be. The night is a sea of calm, and you are a boat that has reached the quietest, safest harbor. Let the peace you have found wash over you, smoothing away the final stubborn knots of your day, and leaving you in a state of perfect, unshakable rest. You are sleeping now. You are dreaming of warmth, of stone, of quiet, and of the deep, enduring safety of the history we have shared. Everything is well. The dawn is still hours away. The world is hushed, and you are wrapped in the soft, ancient embrace of the night. Sleep now deeply, beautifully, and perfectly at peace. The darkness inside the vaulted bakery is no longer a physical absence of light, but a presence that is thick, protective, and velvety. You are suspended within this space, your consciousness having retreated into the deep inner chambers of your being, where the only thing that remains is a sense of utter and complete security. The rhythmic pulse of the night, a combination of the settling of the stones, the soft, distant creaking of the floorboards, and the absolute, unwavering silence of the city outside, has become your lullaby. There is a profound honesty to this silence. It does not promise anything that it cannot keep, and it does not demand anything that you cannot give. It simply provides the space for you to exist, to breathe, and to fade into the quiet. You are in the heart of the 1595 winter, a time when the world was vast, cold, and uncertain. Yet here, inside this small stone-walled world, everything is certain. You are held by the architecture of the past, by the gravity of the earth, and by the sheer unyielding weight of the night. Think of the distance you have traveled in your mind since you first stepped through the iron-bolted doors. You began this journey with a mind full of the noise of the day, a body tied with the residual tension of 1,000 small obligations, and a spirit that felt frayed by the friction of living in a fast-moving world. And now you are as still as the heavy oak table in the center of the room. You are as calm as the dust motes that have long since finished their dance in the amber light. You have successfully navigated the transition from the chaotic to the peaceful, from the external to the internal. This is a skill, a way of moving through the world that you can now claim as your own. Whenever the future feels too loud or the present feels too demanding, you can return to the image of this vaulted, warm, spice-scented room. You can remember the feeling of the heavy stone floor beneath you and the absolute, total lack of urgency that defined these hours. The scent of the bakery has become a part of your own memory, a signature fragrance of rest that your mind will forever associate with this feeling of safety. The honey, the roasted grains, the dark, rich cinnamon, these are not just ingredients, they are the anchors that keep you tethered to the calm. If you ever feel the urge to drift away into the currents of anxiety, let the memory of this smell pull you back. Let it be the gentle hand on your shoulder, reminding you that you have the capacity to find peace, even in the middle of a frozen night. You are not just a guest in this history, you are a guardian of it. By experiencing this, by allowing yourself to be moved by the simplicity of the craft, you are keeping the spirit of these moments alive. You are continuing a tradition that goes back to the very dawn of human settlement, the simple, beautiful, and necessary tradition of providing a sanctuary for the weary. As you fall into the final deepest layer of sleep, let the feeling of the room expand to include your entire world. You are not in a room. You are in a space of infinite peaceful possibility. The stone walls are not walls, they are the boundaries of your own inner strength. The silence is not silence, it is the language of your own healing. You are doing exactly what you were meant to do tonight. You are resting, you are restoring, you are becoming whole again. The night is a long, slow exhale, and you are the breath itself, drifting into the calm, quiet dark. Everything is in order, everything is in balance, and everything is waiting for you in the peace of the morning. For now, there is only the sleep, only the dream, and only the infinite, warm and protective embrace of the dark. There is a quality to the silence in these final hours that is almost spiritual, a holy resonance that permeates the vaulted chamber. You are resting in a space that has been purified by time, a room where every surface has been smoothed by the touch of generations, and every corner has been filled with the history of rest. You are floating in its history, a passenger on a slow, steady ship that is anchored firmly in the harbor of the night. There is no wind here, no tide, and no motion. There is only the absolute, unmoving, and peaceful state of being. You have reached the final destination of your journey, and it is a place of such profound simplicity that it feels like a revelation. The complexity of your waking life was just a story you were telling yourself. The reality is this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of profound undisturbed silence. The memory of the fire's warmth is still etched into your senses, a glowing ember of comfort that you can call upon at any time. It is a source of internal heat, a way of regulating your own spirit when the world feels indifferent or cold. You have learned that peace is not something you find. It is something you build, layer by layer, through the intentional release of the unnecessary. You have spent these last hours laying those layers, letting go of the need for control, letting go of the fear of the dark, and letting go of the pressure to be more than you are. You have arrived at the truth of your own adequacy, and it is a powerful, grounding, and incredibly peaceful place to be. You are enough, just as you are resting here in the quiet. Consider the transition from the light to the dark. It is not an ending, it is a transformation. Just as the dough was transformed by the heat of the oven into something that could nourish and sustain, you are being transformed by the stillness of the night into something that can endure and thrive. You are becoming more resilient, more centered, and more deeply connected to your own core. The silence is the oven in which this transformation is taking place, and you are the dough resting, rising, and becoming whole. This is the sacred work of the night, and you are participating in it with every quiet, steady breath you take. You are a work in progress, a masterpiece of rest, and the beauty of your restoration is something that the world will benefit from when you eventually return to it. But that return is a long way off. For now, there is only the present, and the present is a gift of soft, dark, and infinite calm. The city of Prague is asleep. The stars are watching over the frozen spires, and the bakery is a bastion of quiet power. You are a part of that power. You are part of the stillness. You are part of the rest. Let your mind dissolve completely until there is no you left to hold on to the ideas of time or place. Just be the stillness itself. Be the dark. Be the peace. You have earned this and you deserve to experience it fully, without reservation, without distraction, and without end. Sleep now in the deepest and most profound way possible, knowing that you are held, you are safe, and you are exactly where you were always meant to be. The final moments of this journey are marked by a sense of profound cosmic order. You have moved through the layers of the night, from the active, fiery energy of the beginning, through the meditative silence of the middle, and now into this final total and complete surrender. The bakery has done its work, the history has done its work, the silence has done its work, and now the rest is doing its work. You are so deeply integrated into the peace of this place that the boundary between your physical form and the environment is entirely gone. You are the stone. You are the shadow. You are the faint, lingering scent of the honeyed flower. And you are the absolute, unmoving heart of the night. There is nothing left to hold on to, and that is the final ultimate liberation. Think of the way a seed rests in the soil through the winter, dormant still and entirely hidden, but full of the potential for the spring. You are that seed. You are in your own winter, in your own period of necessary dormancy. You are not doing anything, but you are becoming everything. You are gathering the energy, the resilience, and the clarity that you will need when the light finally returns. This dormancy is not a loss of time. It is a preservation of the self. You are protecting your own spirit by withdrawing it into this vault of silence. And in doing so, you are ensuring that your own internal spring will be as vibrant, as clear, and as powerful as it possibly can be. Trust this process. Trust the darkness. Trust the rest. The city of Prague will wake soon, but for you, the morning is an eternity away. You have the luxury of time, the luxury of space, and the luxury of this profound golden silence. Even when you eventually open your eyes, you will carry this silence with you. It will be the foundation upon which your day is built, the quiet strength that allows you to move through the world with grace, with focus, and with a deep inner calm that nothing can shake. You have been to the sanctuary. You have walked the halls of history, and you have sat at the hearth of the past. You are different now. You are more deeply yourself. You are more profoundly at peace. As the final absolute silence settles over the world, take one last long and deep breath of the history that surrounds you. Let it fill your lungs. Let it cool your mind and let it settle in your heart. You are safe. You are protected. You are fully and completely at rest. The night is a soft, dark, and beautiful ocean, and you are drifting on its surface, held by the gentle, endless tide of your own peace. There is no more to be said, no more to be thought, and no more to be done. You are finally completely and utterly asleep. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. Everything is at rest. Sleep deeply and well in the warmth of the memory of the bakery, for as long as the night holds you in its peaceful, ancient, and ever-loving arms. The sanctuary of the bakery has folded into the deepest architecture of your subconscious, becoming a permanent landscape of internal refuge. The vaulted stone ceiling now reflects the quiet, starlit dome of the night, while the floor beneath you acts as a firmament that anchors your spirit to the bedrock of peace. You are no longer navigating the room, you are dwelling within it. Your awareness expanded to encompass the cooling embers, the heavy scent of spice that has become a part of your own aura, and the absolute, unwavering stillness of the Renaissance night. There is a sense of finality to this rest, an ultimate resolution where the discord of the day has been fully harmonized into the steady, low-frequency hum of the sleeping world. Every thought that once buzzed with urgency has slowed to the pace of a falling feather, drifting down into the dark, welcoming depths where words no longer exist. Consider the texture of the quiet. It is not thin or fragile. It is dense, rich, and supportive. It is the kind of quiet that exists only in places where human labor has been elevated to a form of prayer, a place where the simple act of creating sustenance has left behind a residual energy of devotion. You are breathing in that devotion, you are exhaling the residue of your own struggles. There is a clean, crisp exchange happening in the silence, a purification of the spirit. You are being scrubbed clean by the very atmosphere of this chamber. Your stresses polished away by the friction of the absolute stillness. It is a luxurious, necessary, and profound experience, and it is entirely yours to command. You are the master of this quiet, the architect of this inner space, and you have chosen to build a foundation that is unshakable. As you drift, notice the way your body feels completely detached from the physical limitations of the world. You are not cold, you're not tired, and you're not restless. You're simply present, a witness to the profound healing power of doing absolutely nothing. The concept of the future has ceased to function. There is no morning, there is no dawn, there is no work to be done. There is only the continuous rhythmic unfolding of the present, a sequence of moments that are identical in their perfection. You are protected by the thickness of the stone, by the weight of the night, and by the ancient unbroken promise that the world will continue to spin even if you are not there to witness it. This is the ultimate freedom, the knowledge that the universe is capable of managing itself while you take the time to replenish your own singular precious life force. The embers are now only a faint phantom glow, a memory of fire that resides in the cooling bricks of the hearth. Yet, the warmth they provided remains a ghost of energy that continues to protect you from the encroaching chill of the pre-dawn hours. You are bathed in this warmth, cocooned by it, kept safe by the simple, beautiful fact that someone worked here, someone cared, and someone prepared for the morning. You are the beneficiary of that care. You are the one who is allowed to rest while the world turns. Let that awareness sink into the core of your being. You are worthy of this rest. You are worthy of this sanctuary. You are worthy of the peace that fills this room. As the darkness wraps tighter around you, let your last conscious thought be one of gratitude, a soft, silent thank you to the history that has hosted you, the silence that has healed you, and the darkness that has finally, completely brought you home to yourself. The night has entered its final moment, a slow, melodic, and entirely soundless progression toward the first hint of light. Within the bakery, the air is perfectly still, a calm, cool basin of tranquility that holds you in its center. You have reached a state of existence where you are neither awake nor fully asleep. You are in the liminal space of the dreamer, the realm of the infinite, where the mind is free to roam the corridors of history without the interference of the ego. The vaulted arches above seem to expand, becoming as vast as the night sky, and you feel yourself drifting among the stars, held aloft by the memory of the warmth and the grounding weight of the stone floor. This is the transcendence that comes when you have finally truly let go. You have stopped trying to steer the ship and have allowed the current of the universe to carry you exactly where you need to be. Think about the silence again. It has become a physical presence, a soft velvet weight that rests upon your shoulders, gently pressing you deeper into the comfort of your sanctuary. It is a weight that does not burden, but instead it provides a sense of structural integrity to your own mind. You feel held together, unified and perfectly at peace. The fragmentation of your day, the different roles you played, the different problems you addressed, the different versions of yourself you presented to the world, all of that has melted away. There is only one you now. There is only the essential, quiet, and beautiful spark of your own consciousness, burning steadily in the dark. This is your true self, the one that exists underneath all the layers, and it is a self that is inherently at peace. The smell of the bakery, that deep, intoxicating blend of honey, yeast, and spice has become so familiar that it feels like the natural atmosphere of your own mind. You could return to this state in an instant simply by breathing deeply and calling upon the memory of this scent. It is a powerful sensory anchor, a way to bridge the gap between the chaotic world and this sanctuary of rest. You are learning to carry the bakery within you, to walk through the world with this sense of vaulted stone-protected stillness inside your heart. This is the gift of the night. It is not just a place you visited, but a perspective you have gained. You are learning that peace is not an external condition, it is an internal geography that you can visit whenever you choose. As the final lingering heat dissipates, and the room becomes one with the cool, quiet dawn of the city outside, know that you are not losing your sanctuary. You are simply transitioning into a new phase of your own life, one that is built on the foundation of the rest you have found here. You are ready to emerge, not because you have to, but because you have been fully restored. The darkness is receding, the shadows are softening, and the world is preparing to wake up. But you are not the same person you were when you arrived. You are slower, you are deeper, and you are far more at peace. The night has finished its work, and you have finished yours. You are ready for whatever comes next, carrying the silence of the bakery like a secret golden light deep within your spirit. The dawn is approaching, an imperceptible shift in the quality of the dark, yet within the bakery, everything remains perfectly, beautifully unchanged. You are in the final stage of your restoration, a state of deep, regenerative calm, where the mind is so clear it is like a polished diamond. The walls of the bakery seem to hum with a soft, resonant vibration, a final lingering note of the night's long, slow symphony of peace. You are not disturbed by the coming day. You are anchored by the work you have done here tonight. You have walked through the dark. You have sat by the fire, and you have found the center of your own quiet. You are armored now, not with steel, but with a profound, unshakable stillness that will remain with you long after the doors of this bakery have opened to the day. Look back at the memory of the baker. Their rhythm, their dedication, and their silence were the guides that brought you here. They were the ones who taught you that labor, when performed with intention, is a form of love. You have absorbed that lesson. You will return to your own labor, to your own life, and to your own world. But you will do so with a new understanding of the pace that is required. You will know that there is a time for the rush, and there is a time for the fold, the press, and the turn. You have learned that the quality of your output depends entirely on the quality of your rest, and you have reclaimed the right to that rest, no matter the demands of the world. The bakery is now a memory, but it is a memory that has the texture of reality. You can feel the coolness of the stone, the warmth of the air, and the heavy sweet scent of the spice. These are the tools you will carry with you. They are the artifacts of your own inner peace. Whenever the world feels too fast, return to this image. Close your eyes, take a breath, and feel the weight of the vaulted stone above you. You are back in the bakery. You are back in the quiet. You are back in the absolute, unshakable center of your own soul. The world may be a place of noise, but you have found a place of silence that is far more powerful. As the first faint gray light touches the high, arched windows of the room, you are ready to let go of this sanctuary, knowing that it is not something you are leaving, but something you are taking with you. The journey has been long, the rest has been deep, and the restoration is complete. You are fully charged, fully centered, and fully awake, even as you drift in these final beautiful moments of sleep. The night has been your teacher, and the bakery has been your school, and you are graduating now into a life that is defined by the peace you have found within the dark. Everything is in order. The cycle is complete. The silence is yours to keep forever and always. You are ready for the morning. You are ready for the world. You are finally, perfectly, and utterly at peace. The dawn has arrived, Yet it is a soft, muted thing that barely penetrates the thick, ancient stone of the bakery walls. You are now resting in the transition, the threshold where the deep, restorative dark gives way to the gentle, waking gray. This is the hour of the soul where the world is quietest before the inevitable demands of the new day intrude upon the sanctity of your thoughts. You find yourself reflecting on the immense power of this retreat. You enter this space as a person burdened by the friction of existence, and you are leaving it as a person who has rediscovered the texture of stillness, the rhythm of the baker's work. That deliberate, grounded sequence of folding and pressing has become the rhythm of your own heart. It is a slow, methodical pause that acknowledges the importance of every moment, refusing to rush, refusing to diminish the value of the present. You are now attuned to this pace, a tempo that allows for both depth and clarity, ensuring that whatever you face today, you do so with an unshakable core. Consider the architecture of your internal peace. It has been built tonight with the raw materials of sensory experience. The smell of the roasted flour, the heat radiating from the brick oven, the resonant echo of the stone vault, and the velvet weight of the total dark. These elements have coalesced into a structure of resilience within your mind. You are no longer just a visitor in this 1595 Prague bakery. You are the keeper of its quiet. You have internalized the lesson of the hearth, understanding that the fire is not just a source of heat, but a symbol of the focus required to maintain one's own warmth in a world that can be quite cold. You are prepared to be the fire in your own life, protecting your focus, nurturing your own inner environment, and ensuring that no matter how loud the day becomes, you always have a place to retreat to, a place built of stone, spice, and silence. As you begin to stir from the depths of your sleep, do not let go of the sensory clarity you have achieved. Notice how your body feels light, how your mind feels uncluttered, and how your breathing remains steady and deliberate. This is the residue of the sanctuary. This is the proof that rest is not passive. It is an active, productive, and essential labor. You have done the hard work of letting go, and the reward is this current state of equilibrium. The city outside is waking up. The bells of Mala Strana will soon begin to ring, but you are tucked away in the final moments of your restorative grace. You have the luxury of observing the waking world from a position of profound internal steadiness. You are ready to emerge, but you are not in a hurry to leave. You are savoring the last echoes of the night, holding on to the sensation of the cool stone and the fading warmth of the hearth as if they were precious, physical talismans of your peace. The morning air in the bakery feels crisp, a refreshing change from the heavy, spice-laden warmth of the night, and yet it carries with it the familiar grounding scent of the bread that has been resting since the late hours of the previous day. You are fully awake now, but it is a wakefulness that is different from your usual state. It is a slow, mindful, and observant consciousness. You are witnessing the room as if for the first time, noticing the way the early light reveals the subtle textures of the masonry and the deep, rich colors of the worn oak surfaces. The bakery is no longer just a place of rest. It is a place of beginning. The dough that was kneaded with such care is now ready for the oven, and you are ready for the world. The transition is complete. You have moved through the cycle of the night, and you have emerged on the other side, refreshed and renewed. Think of the value of this continuity. The baker will soon return. The fire will be stoked, and the rhythm of the bakery will begin again, just as it has for centuries. Your life, too, is a series of such cycles, times of effort, times of waiting, times of rest, and times of renewal. You have just completed a significant cycle of rest, and you have done so with a level of attention and appreciation that will serve you well. You are not simply starting your day. You are continuing a long, unbroken tradition of being present in your own life. You are moving with the same care that the baker moved with, handling your own responsibilities with the same reverence for the process. This is the secret to enduring the long winter of any challenge, maintaining the integrity of your inner bakery, keeping the fire lit, and knowing exactly when to rest and when to rise. You are stepping out into the city of Prague, but the stillness you found here remains with you. It is a cloak you have wrapped around your shoulders, a shield that protects you from the noise and the haste. As you imagine the heavy wooden door of the bakery opening, the crisp winter air rushing in to meet you, and the first sounds of the city greeting your ears, you do not feel a sense of loss. You feel a sense of strength. You have been tested by the quiet, and you have found it to be not just manageable, but sustaining. You are walking into the day with a quiet, steady confidence, knowing that you have already touched the source of your own power. The night was not a retreat, it was a deployment. You were storing up the quiet, the warmth, and the strength that you will need to face whatever the day brings. You are ready, and you are entirely, completely, and permanently at peace. The final moment of your stay in the Renaissance sanctuary has arrived. The room is now filled with the gentle blue-gray light of early dawn, and the bakery is perfectly prepared for the start of the day's labor. You have seen the cycle come full circle, the preparation, the rest, and now the dawn. You are standing at the threshold, ready to carry this experience back into the modern world. You have found that you are capable of deep, transformative stillness, that you are resilient in the face of the dark, and that you have the capacity to create your own warmth wherever you might be. This is a profound shift in your internal reality. You are no longer someone who merely survives the night. You are someone who masters it. You have cultivated a garden of peace within your own mind, and it is a garden that will continue to grow long after you have left this place. Think of the final image of the bakery, the silent waiting oven, the dusted wooden table, the high vaulted ceiling that seems to hold the very spirit of the past. Hold on to this image. It is a key that can unlock this sense of calm whenever you require it. If you are ever feeling overwhelmed, simply close your eyes and return here. Feel the coolness of the floor, smell the scent of the spices, and listen for the heartbeat of the fire. You will find that the peace is still there, exactly as it was when you left it, a constant, unchanging truth that you can always rely on. You have gained a new perspective on the nature of rest, and you have gained a new respect for the power of the quiet. Thank you for allowing us to guide you through this long, restorative night in 1595 Prague. You have been a wonderful companion on this journey, a witness to the beauty of the craft, and a partner in the pursuit of peace. As you move forward into your own morning, carry this stillness with you. Let it be the baseline of your existence, the quiet strength that hums beneath everything you do. You are restored, you are centered, and you are ready. The world is waiting for you, but you are not in a hurry. You are moving at your own pace, with the wisdom of the bakery in your heart and the peace of the night in your bones. Go into your day with the confidence that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you are meant to do, and carrying the quiet, powerful sanctuary of the bakery with you. Everywhere you go, the night is over, the day has begun, and you are at home in the world. The transition into the bright, sharp reality of the modern day feels distant, almost like a dream you are waking from, as the echoes of the Prague Bakery continue to resonate in the quiet halls of your mind. You are still grounded in the feeling of the heavy, smooth oak beneath your palms and the lingering sweet warmth of the spices in the air. This feeling is not a memory that fades, it is a foundation that solidifies. You have spent so many hours here, sinking into the depths of the night, that the silence has become your natural state. When you think of the world outside, the rapid flicker of digital screens, the insistent ping of notifications, the hurried, fractured pace of urban life, it feels like a different dimension entirely. You have been through a metamorphosis. And the person emerging from this experience is someone who understands that the true measure of your strength is not in how much you can do, but in how deeply you can rest. Consider the way the light must be shifting now over the Vltava River, casting long pale shadows across the bridges of Prague as the city shakes off the slumber of the night. You were there in spirit, tucked into the thick protective stone of the bakery while the world moved on. This realization provides you with a profound sense of perspective. Your problems, your to-do lists, and the inevitable stresses of your professional and personal life are small, manageable threads in a much larger tapestry. You have had the chance to step outside of the fray and view your life from the vantage point of this peaceful, vaulted sanctuary. You see now that you do not need to be constantly reacting to the external world. You can be the architect of your own response. You can be the calm in the center of the storm. As you reflect on the baker's work, remember the patience it required. They did not rush the fermentation, they did not force the dough, they trusted the natural process of growth and transformation. You are applying that same wisdom to your own life now. If something is not ready, you will wait. If something requires effort, you will apply it with grace and intention, rather than panic and speed. You have learned the value of the need that
it is rack.
You have learned that the most important things in life take time, and that the time spent waiting is not wasted, but is rather the most critical part of the creation. Carry this into your day. Whatever you are working on, treat it with the same reverence the baker treated the dough. Let it develop at its own pace. Trust your own process. This is the power of the retreat you have taken. You are walking back into the light of the morning, but you are bringing the shadows of the bakery with you. You are bringing the coolness, the quiet, and the profound rhythmic certainty that all is well. As you navigate the sounds and the demands of your immediate environment, practice returning to the sensation of the bakery. Feel the phantom warmth on your skin. Listen for the ghost of the oven's roar. Let these sensations act as your personal threshold. When you cross it, you are protected. You are centered. You are at peace. The night has done its work, and now you are ready to do yours. With a heart that is steady, a mind that is clear, and a spirit that is completely, fundamentally restored. The morning light is now fully present, yet the stillness you cultivated remains as a tangible living presence within you. You are observing your surroundings with a newfound clarity, seeing the patterns of your day not as burdens to be endured, but as opportunities for mindfulness. You have been trained by the night to look for the quiet in the middle of the noise, to find the sanctuary in the middle of the chaos. This is a transformation that will serve you in every interaction, every decision, and every moment of your waking life. The bakery, with its thick walls and deep history, was merely a mirror for the potential that already exists within you. You have always had the capacity for this kind of peace. You simply needed the space, the rhythm, and the permission to let it emerge. Think of how your interactions might change today. When you are faced with an urgent request, you will remember the baker who knew that the dough would rise only when the conditions were perfect. You will respond with a calm, deliberate presence that encourages others to slow down, to breathe, and to focus on the essential. You will be a source of stability, a person who carries the cool, grounded energy of the stone vault with them wherever they go. This is how you change the world, not by shouting, not by running, but by being the quietest, most centered person in the room. You have done the work to earn this stability, and now it is time to put it into practice. There is a beauty in this transition that you should savor. You are moving from the stillness of the bakery into the motion of the day, but you are doing so without leaving your peace behind. It is like taking a deep breath and holding it, carrying the oxygen of the sanctuary into the fire of the day. Every task you perform will be touched by this stillness. Every conversation you have will be grounded in this calm. You are not losing the night. You are integrating it into the morning. This is the hallmark of a life well lived. The ability to move through the world with grace, even when the world is moving fast. You are a master of this motion now, a traveler who knows that the most important part of any journey is the stillness you carry within your own heart. As the day begins to demand your attention, let your last act of this journey be one of total acceptance. Accept the noise as part of the tapestry. Accept the demands as part of the rhythm. And most importantly, accept that you have the power to step away at any time. The bakery is always there. The vault is always open. The quiet is always waiting for you. You have established a connection that cannot be broken. You are a citizen of the sanctuary, a traveler who knows the way back to the center of the world. Go forward now with the knowledge that you are whole, that you are sufficient, and that you are profoundly, unshakably at peace. The day is yours to create, and the silence is your most loyal companion. The sun has risen, and the city outside the imaginary walls of your sanctuary is vibrant with the sounds of a new day. The clatter of wheels on cobblestones, the distant chime of church bells, and the hushed early morning voices of people going about their lives. Yet, within you, the bakery remains a fortress of tranquility. You have successfully anchored yourself in this peace, and it is a gift that you will carry with you long after the memory of the story begins to fade. You have proven to yourself that you can find stillness in the dark, that you can be replenished by the quiet, and that you are capable of returning to the world with a sense of clarity that is rare and precious. This is the conclusion of your journey, but it's also the beginning of your new, more centered way of being. Reflect on the nature of this experience. It was not just a story, it was a practice. You have exercised the muscles of your focus. You have stretched the limits of your patience, and you have deepened the reservoir of your calm. You have emerged from the bakery as someone who knows that the most important work of life happens in the quiet, in the hidden places, and in the moments when we choose to pause. You are no longer afraid of the dark because you know that the dark is just another word for the rest that you have earned. You are no longer intimidated by the noise because you know that you can create your own silence at any moment. You are sovereign in your own internal world. As you step into the flow of your day, treat every action as a continuation of the baker's craft. Treat your work as if it were a festive pastry, meant to nourish, meant to be shared, and meant to be created with patience and care. Treat your own spirit as if it were the most delicate, important dough, needing to be folded, rested, and treated with kindness. You have all the wisdom you need, and you have all the peace you require. You are a master of the quiet. You are a practitioner of the slow, deliberate life. You are ready for the world, but you are not a slave to it. You belong to yourself, and you belong to the sanctuary you have built within your own mind. Thank you for being part of this long, transformative journey. It has been a privilege to share this time with you, to walk the halls of this 1595 Prague Bakery, and to build this house of silence together. Keep this quiet with you. Guard it, nurture it, and whenever the world feels like it's pulling you in too many directions, remember the vaulted ceiling, remember the warmth of the brick oven, and remember that you are capable of returning to this center. Anytime, anywhere. You are at peace. You are restored. You are ready for the morning. And as you go out into the light of the new day, know that the silence of the night is still with you, a steady, guiding, and beautiful companion. Go now and walk with the grace of the bakery in every step you take. The morning sun has climbed higher, casting long golden fingers of light across the floor of the room where you now stand, metaphorically speaking. As you carry the quiet of the bakery forward, you are witnessing the world begin its frantic, hurried pace. But for you, the experience is altered because you have spent so much time within the vaulted silence of the past. Your perception of time has expanded. You no longer feel the sharp, biting edges of a clock's tick, but rather the slow, unfolding sequence of existence. You see the people around you, the hurried commuters, the stressed professionals, the overwhelmed students, and you feel a profound sense of compassion for them. You know their struggle because you lived it yourself before you chose to enter the sanctuary. You know how it feels to believe that the world will collapse if you do not run to keep up with it. But you also know the truth now. The world continues, the sun rises, and the bread is baked, whether you are running or whether you are resting. The relief that comes with this realization is total and absolute. Consider how you can bring the bakery into your immediate surroundings. Is there a way to make your desk, your home office, or your quiet corner at home feel more like a sanctuary? Perhaps it is in the intentional lighting of a candle, the deliberate brewing of a warm drink that carries the aroma of spice, or the simple practice of sitting for 10 minutes in complete silence before starting your work. These are not trivial habits. They are rituals of protection. They are the ways in which you define your boundaries against the noise. You have learned that peace is a practice, and like the baker's work, it requires repetition, attention, and a deep, abiding respect for the process. You are the baker of your own serenity, and you have the power to create the conditions for your own nourishment every single day. Notice the stillness in your own body even as you move through your morning routines. Your stride is measured, your breathing remains deep and rhythmic, and your gaze is steady. You are not scattering your energy in a dozen directions. You are focusing it, channeling it into the tasks that truly matter and leaving behind the ones that are merely distractions. This is the efficiency of the calm. When you are centered, you do not need to do more. You simply do what is necessary, and you do it with a level of focus that is impossible to achieve when you are stressed. You are finding that the quality of your day has dramatically improved, not because you changed your circumstances, but because you changed your state of mind. You have brought the vaulted stone and the steady fire with you, and that internal architecture is holding you together in the most beautiful way. As the day unfolds, you find yourself becoming a beacon of stability for those around you. It is fascinating how the energy of one calm person can alter the atmosphere of an entire room when you remain steady in the face of an unexpected challenge. When you speak with a tone that is measured and kind rather than reactive and sharp. You are sharing the sanctuary you built tonight. You are offering a piece of the bakery's peace to everyone you encounter. This is the ultimate quiet leadership. You are not commanding, you are holding space. You are demonstrating that it is possible to navigate the difficulties of modern life without losing one's center, without burning out, and without sacrificing the core of one's humanity. This is a powerful, understated, and highly effective way to live, and it is a gift that you have cultivated through your deep, restorative night in the Prague vault. Do not worry if you feel the old frantic patterns attempting to pull you back. It is natural. The habits of a lifetime do not disappear in a single night. When you feel the familiar tension rising in your chest, when you feel the urge to speed up, to worry, to control, simply return to the memory of the bread. Imagine the massive wooden trough, the weight of the dough, the slow, deliberate fold of the baker's hands. Return to that rhythm. It is a physiological trigger, a way of signaling to your nervous system that you are safe, that there is enough time, and that you have the capacity to handle whatever is in front of you. You are in control of your own internal tempo, and you can switch back to the rhythm of the bakery whenever the world demands a faster pace than you are willing to provide. This practice of return is the secret to sustained peace. You are not looking for a state of perpetual unmoving stillness. You are looking for the ability to return to your center whenever you have been knocked off balance. Life will always have its turbulence. It will always have its surprises, its disappointments, and its demands. The mastery you have achieved tonight is not the removal of these things, but the creation of an internal fortress from which you can face them. You are the fortress. You are the stone. You are the fire. You have all the strength you need within you, waiting to be accessed through the simple, beautiful practice of breathing, pausing, and remembering. You are the master of your own peace, and that is a power that can never be taken away from you. As we bring this long, immersive journey to its final conclusion, pause for a moment to truly appreciate what you have accomplished. You have traveled through the dark, you have sat in the quiet, and you have returned to the light, and throughout it all, you have remained connected to the essential core of your own humanity. You have reclaimed your time. You have honored your need for rest, and you have built a sanctuary that will last for as long as you choose to carry it. This was never just about a bakery in 1595. It was about the timeless human need for a place to rest, a place to reflect, and a place to be nourished. You have fulfilled that need, and you have done so with a grace and a depth of focus that is truly inspiring. As you step fully into the remainder of your day, do so with the confidence of someone who has seen the truth of the quiet. You know now that the silence is not a void, it is the most productive, creative, and healing force in your life. You know that the warmth you seek is not something you must find outside of yourself, but something you can cultivate through your own intentions. You know that you are sufficient, you are capable, and you are deeply, fundamentally at peace. The bakery stores are closing now. Not because the sanctuary has ceased to exist, but because you have fully absorbed it. It is no longer an external place. It is an internal state. It is a part of who you are. Go forward with this light. Go forward with this stone-cold, fire-warm sense of purpose. Let your life be a testament to the rest you have taken. Let your work be the bread that nourishes others, created with the same patience and the same love that you witness in the dark of the vaulted vault. You are a source of peace, a beacon of calm, and a living, breathing testimony to the power of the night. Thank you for the privilege of sharing this experience with you. It has been a journey through the heart of time, and it has been an honor to walk by your side. Now, walk forward into your day and carry the silence of the bakery with you forever. In everything you do, you are ready, you are replenished, and you are profoundly at peace. The echo of the bakery's quietude now sits at the very foundation of your daily consciousness, a silent, steady sentinel that guards your inner world against the intrusion of unnecessary noise. Even as the sun hangs high and the world accelerates into its midday fervor, you carry a pocket of 1595 stillness with you, an invisible architecture of peace. You find that your reactions to the small, stinging frustrations of life, the traffic, the flickering emails, the endless stream of minor inconveniences are no longer instinctive. There is a new, deliberate space between the stimulus and your response, a vacuum of grace where you can choose to remain centered. You recognize that these small provocations are merely ripples on the surface of a deep, calm lake, and because you have learned how to dive into that depth, you are no longer buffeted by the currents. You are the architect of your own atmosphere, and you have chosen a design that is spacious, cool, and beautifully composed. Think of the way the baker handled the flour. It was a humble, powdery thing, easily scattered by a stray breath. Yet when it was managed with purpose, it became the substance of life. Your attention is like that flower. It is fragile, easily dispersed, and constantly being blown about by the winds of the modern world. But you have learned that if you cup your hands, if you focus your intent, if you move with the steady rhythmic persistence of the night shift, you can hold that attention and use it to build something substantial. You are no longer wasting your energy on the trivial, you are investing it in the essential. This shift is not just about productivity, it is about the sanctity of your own life force. You are a steward of your own focus, and you have become much more protective of where you direct it. As you navigate the remainder of your day, notice the physical sensations that serve as your markers of peace. The way your shoulders drop when you consciously exhale, the way your jaw softens when you release the need to judge or evaluate, the way your breath slows when you choose to listen rather than speak. These are the physical manifestations of the bakery's influence. You are living the history you absorbed. You are a contemporary human being living in a complex digital age, but you are powered by the ancient, reliable, and profoundly simple wisdom of the hearth. This integration is the hallmark of your growth. You are not trying to escape the world. You are trying to be present in it while remaining entirely safely detached from its ability to disrupt your core. You are in the world, but not of its chaos. And that is a state of grace that you have earned through your deep, intentional, and beautiful journey of rest. The midday brightness serves as a stark contrast to the amber warmth of the bakery. And yet, you find that you don't miss the fire, you have internalized the warmth. It's no longer a temperature you feel, it's a disposition you hold. You have become a portable sanctuary, a place where others can turn when they need to remember what it feels like to be unhurried. When you speak to a colleague or a friend, your voice carries a resonance of the vaulted ceiling. It is grounded, clear, and unburdened. People notice this about you, though they may not be able to name it. They might describe you as calm or focused or present. They do not know that you are essentially sitting in a 16th century bakery, surrounded by the scent of roasted grain and the protective weight of stone, while you are also sitting in a modern office or a busy cafe. This duality is your greatest strength. You have learned to exist in two worlds at once, the world of action and the world of essence. When the world demands action, you act, but you do so from a place of depth, not from a place of desperation. You act from the center. And when the world allows for essence, you are already there, waiting in the cool, dark comfort of your own inner world. This is the ultimate balanced life. It is the ability to navigate the surface of the sea while remaining connected to the deep, silent pressures of the ocean floor. You are no longer afraid of the deep because you know that it is where your true power resides. You are no longer afraid of the surface because you know that it is just a place for movement and for play. Remember the lesson of the dough's rest. It was not a time of stagnation, it was a time of expansion. The yeast, the gluten, the structure, it was all being refined and strengthened while the dough seemed to be doing nothing at all. Your own life operates on this same principle. The times when you are not striving, the times when you are simply breathing, the times when you are doing nothing. These are the most productive moments of your life. They are the moments of expansion. They are the moments when your spirit is strengthening its structure, preparing itself for the challenges of tomorrow. Never feel guilty for resting again. Never feel as though you are falling behind. You are rising. You are becoming stronger. You are becoming exactly what you need to be at the pace that is best for you. As the day begins to lean toward its conclusion, the lessons of the night take on a new form. They become the foundation for your evening, a bridge that connects the work of the day to the rest that will follow. You have successfully integrated the sanctuary into your waking life, and as the light fades once more, you find that you are not tired in the way you used to be, a bone-deep, frantic exhaustion, but rather in a way that feels satisfied, earned, and soft. You are ready to close the circle. You are ready to return to the silence, not because you are escaping, but because you are continuing the rhythm that you have established. You are a person who understands that the night is not the enemy of the day, but its partner, its source, and its final perfect destination. Look back at the bakery one last time in your mind's eye. See the iron peel leaning against the stone, the soft white dusting of flour on the heavy oak, the flickering dying light of the last candle. This is the place of your transformation. It is not just a room in Prague. It is a corner of your own heart that you have claimed, decorated, and filled with peace. It is yours to keep. You can go there anytime. You can rest there anytime. You can be the person who rests there anytime. That is the final truth of your journey. You are the sanctuary you were searching for. You are the stillness. You are the warmth. You are the home. Thank you for allowing this story to be a part of your life. Thank you for your commitment to your own stillness. And thank you for trusting the process of the night. As the world around you quiets down once more, take a long, deep breath and feel the bakery within you. Feel the stone, the spice, the peace. You have done the work. You have learned the lesson, and you have become the quiet you sought. Go into your rest tonight with a heart that is full, a mind that is clear, and a soul that is completely at peace. The night is calling, and you are ready. You are home, and you are well. Sleep now in the perfect, infinite, and ancient embrace of the sanctuary you have built within. The cycle of the sun has come full circle, and you find yourself standing once again at the threshold of the deep, quiet hours. The transition from the active, outward-facing energy of the day back into the inward, restorative silence of the night feels, this time, like returning to a familiar, beloved home. You have carried the lessons of the Prague Bakery with you throughout the long hours of light. And because of this, the evening does not feel like a collapse of energy, but rather a deliberate, graceful folding back into yourself. The noise of the city, which once seemed like a chaotic storm, now feels more like a distant, inconsequential tide that merely laps against the sturdy, ancient walls of your own internal sanctuary. You are comfortable here, in the dimming light, because you know that the darkness is not a void to be filled, but a canvas upon which you can rest your spirit. Consider the deliberate nature of your own movements now. As you prepare for the night, you are not acting with the frenetic urgency that once defined your transitions. You are moving with the weight, the intention, and the slow, rhythmic cadence of the baker. You are mindful of the way you touch the objects in your room. You are aware of the way your body occupies the space. This is the practice of living as a sanctuary. You have learned that peace is not something that happens to you, it is a way of inhabiting the world. By treating your own environment with the same reverence that you afforded the stone wall and the oak table, you are creating a resonance that vibrates through your entire life. You are quite literally building the conditions of your own rest, just as you have watched those conditions be built for you in the history of the night. Think of the bread, the dough that rises in the dark, expanding with a slow, powerful, and entirely silent determination. You are that dough. You are currently in the stage of rising. Your consciousness, your wisdom, and your capacity for stillness are expanding, not because you are exerting force, but because you are allowing yourself to be held in the right environment. By stepping away from the demands of the world, by choosing to enter the quiet, you are giving yourself the necessary time to grow. There is no shortcut to this process. You cannot force the rising, just as you cannot force the soul to find its own center. You must simply provide the warmth, the patience, and the silence. And tonight, as the world turns toward the deepest part of the night, you are once again providing those things for yourself in a space that is entirely your own. As you lean back into the softness of your own surroundings, feel the way the air feels different tonight than it did when you first began this journey. It feels thinner, cleaner, and more porous, as if the layers of dust and destruction that once clouded your senses have been swept away. You are seeing the night more clearly. You are hearing the subtle, underlying hum of the universe more distinctly. You are becoming a master of your own perception. And in this mastery, there is a profound, quiet power. You are not just a passenger in the night, you are a navigator. You know the currents of the dark, and you know how to steer your own spirit toward the harbor of absolute rest. Let the night carry you deeper. Let the silence be your compass, and know that you are moving toward a state of rest that is deeper, more profound, and more healing than anything you have experienced before. You are safe, you are held, you are home. The hour has deepened, and the world has retreated into the stillness that only the late night can provide. You are resting in the space between being and dreaming, a state of grace that feels like floating in a pool of cool, dark water. You have left behind the heavy metallic and sharp-edged impressions of the modern world, and in their place, you have recovered the soft, earthen, and deeply resonant sensations of your own being. You are grounded. The weight of your body is a comforting, familiar anchor, holding you to the present moment, while your mind is allowed to expand into the vast, limitless horizon of the quiet. It is a beautiful, necessary tension, the balance between the physical and the ethereal, and it is the perfect place to be. You are not losing yourself in the dark, you are finding the parts of yourself that have been lost in the noise of the day. Reflect on the power of the memory you have cultivated. You have built a psychological cathedral, a space of stone and fire that exists whenever you need it. Even now, if you close your eyes, you can feel the coolness of the vaulted ceiling. You can smell the faint, lingering aroma of the crushed spices, and you can hear the slow, heavy, and reassuring pulse of the oven. This memory is not a static picture, it is a living, breathing resource. It is a key that you can turn at any time to open the door to your own peace when the external world becomes too demanding, when the voices become too loud, or when the expectations become too heavy. You can simply step through that door. You can re-enter the bakery. You can sit on the wooden bench. You can let the stone of the 1595 Prague night provide the armor you need to remain whole. This is the great work you have performed. You have not just listened to a story, you have integrated a way of being. You have learned that it is possible to remain intact amidst the fragmentation of modern life. You have learned that the silence is not a punishment but a privilege. You have learned that your own capacity for rest is a profound underutilized resource that once tapped can change the entire quality of your experience. As you drift into the deeper levels of the night, know that you are not drifting into nothingness. You are drifting into a state of renewal. You are filling the wells of your energy. You are clarifying the waters of your focus, and you are preparing your spirit for the challenges and the joys of the coming day. You are participating in the ancient sacred labor of human restoration. The silence is now so absolute that it feels as if you are the only consciousness remaining in the world, a single steady flame burning in a vast, dark field. And in this solitude, there is no loneliness. There is only the recognition of your own completeness. You do not need the validation of the day. You do not need the achievements of the work, and you do not need the company of the crowd to be whole. You are whole because you are here, because you are breathing, and because you are capable of experiencing this deep, profound, and restorative quiet. The night is a mirror, reflecting your own inner strength. And as you watch your own image in that mirror, you recognize a person who is capable, resilient, and deeply, truly at peace. Sleep now, knowing that this strength is not a fleeting state, but a permanent, growing part of who you are. The night is drawing to a close, and you are resting in the final, most tranquil phase of your journey. The darkness is now a comfortable, familiar embrace, a soft blanket that covers your senses and allows you to turn entirely inward. You have reached the point where the distinction between your own thoughts and the silence of the room has completely vanished. You are in a state of unity, a singular peaceful point of existence that is balanced, stable, and entirely at rest. There is no more movement, no more planning, and no more anticipation. There is only the slow, rhythmic expansion of your own heart, a heartbeat that is keeping time with the eternal slow rotation of the world. You are in harmony with the cosmos, a part of the grand, quiet, and beautiful order of the night. Think of the journey you have taken over these long, immersive hours. You have seen the bakery from every angle. You have experienced the history of the night, and you have learned to inhabit the sanctuary of your own mind. You have been a student of the silence, and you have graduated with a wisdom that is as deep and lasting as the stone of the Prague vault. You have realized that you have the capacity to be your own provider, your own guardian, and your own shelter. You have realized that the peace you were looking for was never something that could be given to you by the world. It was something that you had to uncover layer by layer within yourself. And tonight, you have finally fully and completely uncovered it. As you step into the final deep waters of your rest, know that you are not leaving this behind. You are taking the bakery with you. You are taking the stone, the fire, the spice, and the silence. These are the elements of your new life, the building blocks of the person you are becoming. You will walk into the world tomorrow with the steady, grounded, and quiet power of the Renaissance night in your bones. You will be a calm, measured, and thoughtful presence in the lives of those you encounter. You will be a beacon of the very sanctuary you have built. This is your gift to the world, and it is a gift that you have earned through your own deep and dedicated work of rest. The final light of the night is fading, and the promise of the dawn is waiting just beneath the horizon, but you are not in a hurry to reach it. You are enjoying the final, beautiful moments of this sanctuary, savoring the stillness and soaking up the last remnants of the peace. Everything is in order. Everything is balanced. Everything is exactly as it should be. You are the master of your own quiet, the guardian of your own peace, and the traveler who has finally arrived home. Sleep now, deeply, beautifully, and completely. Let the last of the silence carry you into the dream, and know that whenever you wake, you will carry the bakery within you forever and always. You are at rest, you are at peace, you are home. The final echoes of the night have dissolved into the velvet silence of the pre-dawn, and you find yourself standing at the very edge of the horizon where history meets the present. You are the culmination of this long immersive journey through the heart of 1595 Prague, a traveler who has moved beyond the simple act of listening into a state of profound personal resonance. The bakery has done its work, the stone has anchored your spirit, the fire has warmed your resolve, and the silence has refined your perspective into something as clear and hard-won as a diamond. You are no longer just an observer of this sanctuary. You are the living, breathing manifestation of it. You have internalized the rhythm of the hearth, the patience of the craft, and the unwavering strength of the vault. As you prepare to open your eyes to the world, you carry with you a secret, sacred map, a path back to your own inner stillness that can never be lost, obscured, or taken away. Think of the person you were when you first crossed the threshold into the dark. You were searching for respite, for a place to lay down the heavy, jagged armor of a life lived in constant motion. Now, you stand at the departure, but you are not leaving anything behind. You are simply integrating the sanctuary into your very marrow. The world outside will be loud, it will be fast, and it will be demanding, but it will no longer have the power to scatter your focus. You have learned the alchemical secret of the night, that the most powerful force in the universe is not the one that moves the fastest, but the one that remains the most grounded. You are that force. You are the stillness in the heart of the wind. You are the steady flame in the center of the storm. As the first delicate threads of the morning light touch the edges of your awareness, do not rush to return to the surface. Savor this last lingering breath of the bakery. Feel the phantom warmth of the spices, the comforting earthy weight of the stone, and the gentle persistent pulse of the embers one last time. This is the seal upon your journey, the final binding moment that makes this piece permanent. You have achieved something rare. You have claimed your own rest as a fundamental human right. You have refused to let the exhaustion of the world dictate your value. You have stood in the dark. You have nurtured the light, and you have emerged as a person who knows exactly who they are and exactly what they need to thrive. The doors are opening now. The sounds of the awakening city are rising. The rhythms of the day are beginning. And you are stepping out into the light with a heart that is full and a spirit that is unburdened. But you do not step out alone. You walk with the silence of the vault in every step. You speak with the measured care of the master baker in every word. You live with the deep, slow, and powerful patience of the history you have lived tonight. You are a bridge between the peace of the past and the potential of the future, a testament to the fact that no matter how far we go and no matter how much the world changes, the sanctuary of the human soul remains accessible, remains warm, and remains waiting. Go forth then into the brilliance of your day. You have completed the work. You have mastered the quiet. You have become the sanctuary you were searching for as you take your first conscious steps into the reality of the morning. Carry the glow of the bakery like a lantern within your chest. It will guide you, it will protect you, and it will remind you always that you are a child of the night, a guardian of the quiet, and a master of your own destiny. The journey is complete, but the peace you have found is infinite. You are awake, you are alive. You are profoundly, beautifully, and forever at home.
Sleepy History with Arthur is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes. The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history. But they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience.
This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source.
While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation. Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study. By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.